everybody, Will Wiggleman here with you at historic McMorran Place in downtown Port Huron. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Well, it's Teacher Appreciation Night, so sit down, take out your notebooks, and take some notes because this is an important one for both sides. The Port Huron Prowlers come in having lost each of their last 6 games, a franchise-long losing skid that they are trying to end tonight against another team that's struggling in the Blue Ridge Bobcats, who have lost 4 of their last 5. We'll get into the futility numbers and see who might come out on top tonight in the pregame show next. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
Welcome to the new era of Prowlers hockey. New owner, new store, new horn, fire, projectors on the ice. Yeah, this isn't your dad's McMorran experience. This is Prowlers hockey. Get your tickets for the show now at phprowlers.com/tickets.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
From Prowlers hockey. Initial shot. Live. Welcome back here to McMorran Place. Prowlers and Bobcats. Couple of teams in desperate need of a win. Getting set to go for the first of 2 meetings this weekend. Will Wiggleman back with you here on the PHP Network. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. And before we get into tonight's game, let's take a look at the last games for these two teams, starting with the last game for the Blue Ridge Bobcats. They were at home in a 3-3 taking on the Watertown Wolves, and they dropped the rubber match on the Sunday, 5-4 the final. Wolves were up 5-1 at one point in this game. Bobcats couldn't complete the comeback in the third period, so Blue Ridge has lost 4 of its last 5 as the Wolves won 2 of 3 in the weekend series. Matt Lenz with a 52 save performance for the Wolves. Trevor Graspy got his first goal in the FPHL this season, last year's FPHL Rookie of the Year, back with the Wolves, and a couple of assists as well for him. For the Prowlers, they were here last Saturday night, and they fell to the Indiana Sentinels, ended up getting swept by Indiana in the 2-game weekend set, as the Sentinels now with a 3-game win streak. Prowlers fall to 500 for the first time this season at an even 11-11. And they are now on a franchise record 6-game losing skid. But hasn't affected their standing too much, as they still sit in second place in the Empire Division behind the Binghamton Black Bears, who have way pulled away by this point. But still at 33 points, but the Scarecrows are right there now. Hat-tricks right there as well. Bobcats have tumbled a little bit down to 5th as they continue to sit behind the Hat-tricks. Wolves have pulled just that much tighter with the Bobcats as well after taking 2 of the 3 games last weekend. So things getting a little bit tight again in that 4, 5, 6 spot. But for the Prowlers, they have a couple of teams hot on their tail right now. So it's gonna be tight here, and big points again on the board here tonight. Let's take a look at our players to watch here. And we start with the Bobcats and Nick Stuckless, a guy who is on a 5-game point streak right now, 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points. And Kyle Heitzner has gone up to the ECHL for the Blue Ridge Bobcats. He's with the Adirondack Thunder, so a guy like Stuckless going to be very important to make sure that they continue to have depth scoring throughout their lineup. On the other side for the Prowlers, a man drawing in for the first time in a while. Brett Morick missed the last 2 games as a healthy scratch, but this season 3 points and a +3 right now for Morick as he draws back in, looking to bring some more energy, some more physicality to the depth of this Prowlers lineup. Let's see where Morick fits into the plans tonight as we take a look at the projected lineup. Reggie Millette is out for tonight's game, and Artu Hakala will be taking his spot on the top line alongside Lucas Lockney and Matt Graham. Meanwhile, throughout the rest of the lineup, Luke James slides in alongside Jamie Bussell and Connor Bazal. And third line, Bobby Price, Vinny DeCumbis, and Blake Anderson. Brett Morick is the extra forward tonight. Same defense pairings, and Reed Cooper will go between the pipes tonight for the Prowlers. Well, the Prowlers and Meyer are combining for the Goals for Good program. And for every goal the Prowlers score this season, Meyer will donate money to help deliver meals to families in need. So far this season, the Prowlers and Meyer have helped deliver over 3,700 meals to families in need. We will take a quick break, and when we come back, we will take you down to ice level for the drop of the puck. It's coming up next here on the PHP Network.
Welcome to the new era of Prowlers hockey. New owner, new store, new horn, fire, projectors on the ice. Yeah, this isn't your dad's McMorrin experience. This is Prowlers hockey. Get your tickets for the show now at phprowlers.com/tickets.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
On Prowlers Hockey is presented by shot. Having some delays here at McMorrin Place with our pregame festivities, and hopefully we will update you shortly. And now they're getting all set to go with our pregame festivities at McMorrin Place. Again, using those brand new projectors down there on the ice. So excited that we're able to have those and bring that to you. But again, the best way to check out this on-ice show is here at McMorrin Place, so be sure to get your tickets at phprowlers.com/tickets. Because it is an awesome show, as you can see, as we have shown people before throughout this season here on the broadcast, but only giving you a sneak peek here tonight because we want you to come out here to McMorrin Place to experience it live and in person. Well, everything's really getting going here on the ice. A couple of Prowlers who are having slow times here right now offensively. Artu Hakala, Bobby Price, and Lucas Lockney, all on 6-game point droughts. Lockney right now Lockney on a 6-game goal drought. Hakala and Price 6 games without a point at all. Lockney is playing in his 200th professional game tonight, and that doesn't just include the FPHL, also the SPHL, and over in his native Slovakia. So big night for Lucas Lockney. We'll see if he can snap out of the funk and help the Prowlers snap out of their funk, because again, it has been a while since we've been able to call a Prowlers win for you guys, and hopefully we're hoping here, and the fans here at McMorrin Place hoping that we can find 3 points for the home side, but the Bobcats in just as much need of 3 points as well as they continue to fall down the standings, and they are hoping that they can regain their footing and again climb back up to where Danbury kind of is right now and get a little bit closer. But they are, as we mentioned earlier, without Kyle Heitzner, who is in the ECHL right now with the Adirondack Thunder. He and Binghamton Black Bear sport Gavin Yates both called up to Adirondack this week. So we'll see who steps up for the Bobcats with one of their top guys out of the lineup. we will take you down the ice level for the rest of tonight's pregame ceremonies.
Make some noise for your Port Huron Prowlers! Somebody scream! It's now time to play Corrective Team Associates. Starting lineup. On defense, number 16, Brian Person. On defense, number 18, Brett Lockhart. At forward, number 23, Vincent DeCumbus. At forward, number 29, Bobby Price. At forward, number 94, Blake Anderson. And in goal, number 33, Reed Cooper. The head coach of the Prowlers is Matt Graham, associate head coach Chris Collin, and assistant coach Alan Johnson. The athletic trainer is Bridget Smith, presented by Port Huron Internal Medicine Associates. The equipment managers are Brian Larson and Jen Paul. Let's welcome the Civil Air Patrol Blue Water Composite Squadron Color Guard. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise, and gentlemen, may we suggest removing your caps as we honor America and salute the men and women serving our country with the singing of our national anthem. Sponsored by Duraclean by Mike Batchelor. We remind all members of the armed forces and veterans who are present but not in uniform that you may render the military salute. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Emily Gowdy.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, their bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Emily Gowdy on the anthem tonight. Prowlers and Bobcats just moments away from dropping the puck, but first we have a special opening ceremony. You see the red carpet out there, but it is Teacher Appreciation Night here at McMorran Place, celebrating all of our local educators and those who shape the young minds, not just here in Port Huron, around St. Clair, but I do want to spread it out here to those around the country and around the world. I want to give a big shout out to Allison Wiggleman, who, from what I heard, submitted that she will be retiring this season, or this year officially, to her school. So congratulations, Allison, and I'll see you in a couple of days for Christmas. But shout out to Allison again for all of her service as a teacher back in New York. We have lots of teachers here being honored. We have a couple of teachers up here in the booth. Alexander Nelson, Kim Nelson, who both help teach young minds here in the area. So shout out to those two down there running our cameras tonight. Again, lots of teachers. I think we ended up with 20-something teachers to honor here tonight. And during the intermission, all of these teachers will be out on the ice and they will be playing a game, and the winner of the game will get $300 for school supplies to their classroom. So a great honor for the teachers and for the Prowlers to even be a part of it. So again, we are so happy, so lucky to be part of that here this evening. Let's take a look who's going to be starting for the Prowlers here tonight. North Peak Associates starting lineup. We got the third line out to begin. Brian Parsons and Brett Lockhart, the Massachusetts connection on defense. Reed Cooper between the pipes. And that third line is one that we've talked about previously. That is one that can bring a lot of speed. And that Price, DeCumbus, and Anderson trio, we'll see if they can find some more connections. There's Anthony Schrum. He's the starting goaltender for the Blue Ridge Bobcats. Take a look at his numbers alongside Reed Cooper's numbers. Schrum 2-0 against the Prowlers this season. He started both of those Bobcats wins against Port Huron. He has certainly been the goaltender the Prowlers have had a lot more trouble with this year. Meanwhile, Reed Cooper trying to get out of a funk just like the rest of his team. He's won just one of his last 6 starts, 4 losses and 1 no decision in that time frame. Certainly not Reed Cooper-like, and certainly not completely his fault that his record is like that. We'll see if everybody can get locked in tonight and bring the Prowlers a victory. Puck is down and we are underway here from McMorran Place. Brett Lockhart looks to skate the puck in, shoveled it towards the net, and it's tossed right back out. Parsons slipped it towards Anderson, knocked down by Kirsten Andrioli, who had a couple of goals the last time these teams matched up in Virginia. That was a 5-1 Bobcats win. And it's been interesting during this season series how these teams have mirrored each other in their victories as Schrum makes a save off his glove from the outside shot by Anderson. Lockney scoops up the puck, turnaround try was blocked by Andrioli. Graham tried to pass it all the way across, got to Lockney, he left it for Hakala. Push it all the way around, Lockney comes back up the near side. Cycled down for Graham, looking back to Lockney, trying to get to the net. He's knocked down. So he was surrounded. Lockney doesn't have his stick. Now he'll go back to pick it up and rejoin the play. Meanwhile, Hakala taken in by Andrei Simonchek, number 10, one of the newest Bobcats. Up comes Blue Ridge as they're in the midst of a change. Oregon throws a check, trying to get back to that puck. Oregon able to loft it only as far as the scrum. Takes a hit from Brandon Reller, number 22. Justin Daly, the Bobcats' leader in goals, slides it to the point to Lavak. Wrist shot all the way past the net as there was a battle ensuing right in front, and then Cooper scoops up the second try from the point, and Daly right in front, getting passed around by a couple of Prowlers via shoves, and he ends up down on the ice. You see there the battle in front between Oregon and, let's see who that Bobcat was. That's Reller, and then Daly getting bounced around. And as I mentioned, these teams have kind of mirrored each other in their wins. The first weekend, these teams faced each other in Wytheville. Both teams with a last-minute goal to win in regulation, a 1-goal win on both sides. And then the next time the teams faced off, each team jumped out to a 4-0 lead in their respective wins and ended up giving up just 1 goal. The only difference was an empty netter for the Bobcats. They won 5-1, Prowlers won 4-1, but again, very similar victories for these teams in this season series as Bucell steps up for a collision with Daly. Favaro tried to send it ahead, hit a Bobcat stick. Bucell skates into it. Bucell on the right wing side, rising shot knocked down by Schrum, and then a stick came up on Jamie Bucell. Penalty coming up. High sticking the call, and Bucell doubled over by the Prowler bench. They'll check him for blood. Looks like he's feeling near his eye area. That was Klinecki that got the stick up, trying to bat that puck away. And Daniel Klinecki will sit in the box for like 2. And the Prowlers will get their first power play of the night. This has not been a positive part of Port Huron's game as of late, as the Prowlers are 0 for their last 23 and have not scored a power play goal in their last 6 games. Bit of a different looking unit here. They were experimenting with different personnel throughout the week. They have Graham, Lockney, Johnson, Federley, and Bucell on this unit. Bucell and Federley have spent most of this season on the other unit, as Bucell has to come in and take the face-off after Graham got kicked out, and Port Huron sets up. Johnson for Federley. Down low, Lockney. Gave it to Johnson, shooting, and it's blocked. Lockney fan on the rebound, and then he's able to push it but wide. Johnson drops it back for Bucell, and the Prowlers reset in their own end. Federley up to Bucell, gets in, led it off towards Graham, but that was taken away by Radchenko and cleared. As Radchenko in his first game back off the IR, last played on November the 29th. 45 seconds gone in this Prowlers power play. Blake Anderson wheeling ahead. Anderson shot kicked out by Schrum. Anderson knocked down behind the net by Lavak. Hakala came in to try and find that puck, but he couldn't. And it's cleared all the way down this unit. Favaro, Lockhart, Price, Hakala, and Anderson. Here is Anderson on for Price to the outside. Hakala shoots, and it's swallowed up by Schrum. He'll hang on for a whistle and a face-off. 43 seconds left on this Port Huron man advantage. Artu Hakala, one of the guys we mentioned in the pregame show, on a 6-point drought. Bobby Price, the guy who passed it to him, also on a 6-game point drought. Reller grabs that puck first in the corner. Unable to be cleared by Bacon on the first attempt, and then he got past Austin Federley on the second. Johnson wheels ahead into the offensive zone. Graham looking back towards Johnson, off of Radchenko's stick. Johnson chases back after the puck, absorbs contact from Stuckless. Puck underneath Johnson, and Reller clears. That should take care of the rest of the penalty to Klinecki. Under 10 seconds to go in it. Prowlers power play, now 0 for their last 24. Here's Connor Bazal throwing on the brakes. Trying to spin away from Mercurio, behind the net towards Graham. Cycle back to Bazal, but he couldn't bring it in cleanly. Bazal up to the line, Parsons wrists it, deflected down by Morick, but wide. Bazal swept it up high. Lockhart down low looking for James. Simonchek stepped in the lane. Chased after by PJ Demetrio. Took a hit from Morick. Swept again behind the net. Penalty coming up against the Bobcats here, as Bazal was upended after that puck left the area. Slashing the signal against Mike Mercurio, and Port Huron back to the man advantage. When we come back, 5 minutes gone in period one. Still scoreless here on the PHP Network.
This isn't working. LJ, pass me those flyers. No look behind the back pass. It's a whole play. I'll take. Come on. Gap up. Close the gap. Close the gap. What are we saying?
I guess we are not doing the immediate timeout. The referees have overruled the box here, saying that there should be immediate timeout.
Hey fans, let's get up and dance. Stand up and get loud.
So the Prowlers back on the power play here. Back on the power play here. As Daly tried to backhand it out, Favaro bounces it back down deep. Anderson throws on the brakes, back behind the net to Price. Up high it goes. Lockhart, Favaro. Back to Brett Lockhart. Price walks up high. Favaro, one-timer kicked out by Schrum through the traffic. Centering feed, Heikala scores! The power play drought is over, and the Prowlers have a 1-0 lead. Great pass from Blake Anderson to R2. Heikala. Schrum gets caught looking the wrong direction. And finally, the Prowlers with a man advantage marker. And it's R2 Heikala's 7th goal of the year, 2nd power play goal. He snaps a 6-game point drought. Who needs immediate timeout anyway? Radchenko looking to bring it back in for the Bobcats. Rising shot knocked down by Cooper. Kazirev gave it off to Klinecki, floats it all the way through off the near side corner boards. Klinecki has it again, sweeps it around. Bresco back up high towards Radchenko. Carson's able to grab the puck and put it down. Radchenko's shot blocked, kept alive by a good glove of Stuckless. Klinecki in front, slid all the way through past everyone, kept in by Radchenko. Bobcats are buzzing. Pass down low was blocked by a sliding James. Bobcats recovered. Here's Klinecki straight on. Tries the shot. 3 Prowlers right on top of him. Klinecki got it over and a kick save by Cooper. Kazirev tried to dance to the middle. Klinecki across to Radchenko. Down low it goes. Bucell takes over. Prowlers will look for an exit. And Jamie Bucell just gets a high flip out. Klinecki tries to send it right back in. Daniel Martin wraps it all the way around. Slid ahead towards Price, off his stick, but he's able to move it in James's direction. James took Simonchik in. Simonchik moving up, 3-on-3, but his drop pass was overskated. Up comes Tecumseh, ahead to Price, swept it into the offensive zone. Prowlers able to complete a change here. Price getting right back on that puck. Cycled it down low, got past Tecumseh, and Demetrio looking for an escape. Oregon chips it ahead towards Anderson. Popped it out to Tecumseh. Indirect feed finds Price. Handoff Anderson. Looking in front. Pass off a stick. And it's Andrioli. Skating hard off ice. Right up the gut. Out to Martin. Tried to feed it back towards the net. And that was blocked away. Prowlers came back in numbers. Barusith with a shot off of Oregon, and Cooper able to make the stop. Daly up to the right wing side. Reller drops the shoulder, gets the net, trying to go back to Daly, and it was swept out of danger. Favaro looking ahead, got a long feed to Anderson. He sends Graham in. Bobcats bench thought it may have been offside, but play continues. Wheeled ahead, that puck took a bounce, and it got past Lockhart. Blue Ridge making a change as Johnson dinks it for Brett Lockhart. Heikala touched ahead. Bucell ran into the boards. Klinecki popped it out for Ferusith. Wheeling in, Ferrusa swept it in front, and Cooper able to cover up the shot from Nick Stuckless. Now we're actually going to immediate timeout. Artu Heikkila has the only goal so far. It's 1-0 Prowlers.
This isn't working. LJ, pass me those flyers. No look behind the back pass. It's a hope play. LJ, come on. Gap up. Close the gap. Close the gap. What are we saying? This isn't working. We need a shift change. Let's bring in the professionals.
Hello, I'm home.
There he is.
What is happening?
Relax. We won. They brought back the snack wrap. Spicy or ranch?
Spicy.
Yeah, go. Yeah. Just one little bite.
Can you stop?
Oh, sorry.
Gather your crew. Snack Wrap is back.
Back here in Port Huron, taking a look there on the Prowlers bench. Alex Johnson and Bailey Huber. Prowlers with a 1-0 lead right now on the Blue Ridge Bobcats. Face-off will be to Reed Cooper's left. Shot towards the net, ends up off the back wall. Stuckless, tried to pop it out for Kazirev. Came out to Radchenko, popped high up in the air. Where is it? Cooper trying to find it. He's back in his crease, and Parsons able to slide it over to the boards. Shot back on, rifled off the back wall. Kazirev slipped through a check of Lockhart. Kazirev around the cage, spins back, harassed by Parsons. Cycle down for Stuckless. Kept it moving. Bounced up high, Radchenko, D to Klinecki. Trying to go back to Radchenko. Good stick by Brett Morick. He was back in the lineup after being scratched both games last weekend. Blue Ridge right back in. Price takes over though. Indirect feed finds Anderson. 3 Bobcats back as Blake Anderson dumps it in. Tecumseh trying to push it back down deep. Anderson pulls it off the wall. Anderson slid it down low, cut off by Bacon. Needed some help going towards the net. Long home run feed, flagged down by Demetrio. Oregon makes a move around Martin. Oregon gets it back, ahead to Anderson. Had it bounced out of the zone by Radchenko. Andrioli will slow things down. D to Bacon. Daly right down Main Street, save Cooper, batted around, and Cooper able to hang on. Puck was batted up in the air. Our washed up player of the game tonight is Daniel Martin. Presented by Chippewa Laundromat. Chippewa Laundromat is Port Huron's only multi-generational laundromat. We'll be right back here on the PHP Network.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hi guys, we just stopped at Industrial Park Marathon to get some fuel and some snacks before the Prowlers game at McMorran.
Nice. Yeah, we just stopped by here at Industrial Park Marathon so I can get a Slurpee before the game.
Wait till after the game. If the Prowlers score 3 or more goals, Slurpees will be free.
Thanks for the info. I'm going to get my Slurpee after, but we'll see you at the Prowlers game.
See you at the game. Go
Go
Prowlers!
Back here on the PHP Network, your Prowlers leading Blue Ridge 1-0 thanks to an R2 Hakela power play goal. Nice to snap that streak. I know Will's talked about it. Long time since the Prowlers have gotten a power play goal, putting pucks in the back of the net. And I know a lot of you out there like to collect pucks, whether it's team pucks. Get a whole collection for the Fed. Well, at shop.phprowlers.com, we have a brand new set of 2 division, both Continental and Empire pucks. You can get them, add them to your collection. They're sharp looking, would look great on anyone's mantle. Again, that's shop.phprowlers.com. Will, back up to you.
Well, that's the perfect gift for any Fed fan, whether you're a fan of the Prowlers, the Bobcats, or anyone else in the league. Shop.phprowlers.com is your hookup for those divisional pucks. There's one, an Empire Division puck and a Continental Division puck. And again, that's another awesome addition to the Port Huron Prowlers store. You can also get them in the in-arena store. So if you don't want to wait for shipping, just get down here tomorrow night when the Prowlers and the Bobcats do it again. Here's a long lead pass to Matt Graham, hopped over his stick. Graham wins the race to negate the icing. Barosith skates it out. Try to pass it over to Reller. Instead, it's Lockney handing it off for Johnson. Ahead to Graham. He'll send it in to Shrum's left. Lockney wins the race. Lockney trying to turn towards the net, comes out to Lockhart, and his stick fails him as he tried to send a drive in. Hustling back up is Blue Ridge. Centering feed comes all the way up to Stuckless. His shot hit a body and went wide, as Bresco was the one who hustled in and got the pass out. Still in the Prowlers zone. Bresco cycles it down low for Kazirev. Taken in by James. Poke towards the front. Reller back in towards Kazirev. That was cut off. Klenecki, Rister, stopped by Cooper with Kazirev all over him, or Bresco, pardon me, on top of him. So a knockdown by a high stick of Radchenko. And we'll get a whistle and a face-off. Plenty of chaos in the Prowlers' end after Brett Lockhart's stick snapped and he tried to step into a loose puck. Bobcats had the last 7 shots on net since the Prowlers' goal, and there you see Lockhart needs a new twig, and that started a great cycle for Blue Ridge as they came back up the ice. Carson Andrioli taken in. Demetrio couldn't pass it out. He gets it back, and now it's Andrioli. Got through Bacon, and it's Martin with help coming. Martin send it over. Demetrio scores! Bobcats work the 2-on-1, and PJ Demetrio ties it up. Fifth of the year for Demetrio, and Martin with a perfect pass there, right on the tape, out of the reach of Bobby Price. And Demetrio goes top shelf. So the puck slipped past a few Prowlers at the Blue Ridge blue line. And we have a brand new hockey game. Andrioli steps to the red line, dumps it in. And Nick Favaro looking to get it out. Third goal with the Bobcats for Demetrio. One of his 3 goals with Blue Ridge, a game winner. That came a week ago against the Watertown Wolves with 8 seconds left to go. The only game of the 3-game slate that the Bobcats won last weekend against Watertown. Connor Bazal hands it off for Hakela, trying to streak in, but he was surrounded. Daly on towards Reller, couldn't bring it in. Daly chips it by a man. Has to deal with Graham. Bounced up high. Lavak looking towards the net, shot blocked by Bizal, and here comes Hakela all by himself. Now his help joining it from the bench. Tried to pitchfork it across. Shot came in, and Schrum made the save. Reller tried to slip it towards Feruseth. Battle for in the corner. Prowlers finishing up a change. Anderson fresh off the bench with a steal. Got it on net, and it bounced wide. There's a couple of players right in front there. Lockney and Graham looking for a deflection. Feruseth got it to Reller. Tried to get back in front for Feruseth. Pass was behind him. 3 Bobcats back to accept this rush. Lockney between his own legs on the backhand, and Schrum got it with the blocker. And that's tossed out of play. And delay of game coming against Kazirev. Prowlers will go to their 3rd power play of this first period. Kazirev trying to plead his case here. He thinks it was deflected on the way out. Port Huron 1 for 2 on the man advantage. Their best power play percentage in a long time. They send out the unit that scored. Anderson will draw against Martin. Players tie up. Anderson knocked down Bacon. And Blake Anderson is going to the box for tripping. So just as soon as it began, the Prowlers' 3rd man advantage of the period is over. And Blake Anderson frustrated with that call as he heads to the sin bin. Take another look. Anderson trying to swat at that puck. Got Bacon's left skate. So I'll have a minute 55 of 4-on-4 and then brief 5-second Bobcat power play. Off this face-off. Tried to be sent through. Cut off by Lockhart. Martin kicks it back into his own end, harassed by Price. Here comes Daniel Martin. Bobcats captain throws on the brakes. Had it stolen by Price. Price by himself, trying to cut in. And puck taken off his stick by Radchenko. Mercurio peels back, waits for his team to complete a change. Planecki lets Reller skate into it. Up comes big Brandon Reller. Reller wheeling, shoots, and a save made by Cooper as Reller tried to go end to end. Nice move there by Reller, and Cooper able to stay square and stayed on his feet and cut down as much of the net as possible. Off this draw, Johnson retreats back behind his net. Right wing side, Bucell skates in as Johnson going towards the cage. Bucell on his backhand, sent it to an area for Oregon to chase. James hustling back after the puck. Daly got there first. Reller starts up, looks for Daly. And Bucell read that pass. Graham walking the blue line. Turns back, has Parsons right down the middle, saves Schrum. And the rebound pushed to the corner. Reller taken in by Graham. Able to hustle back after it. Here comes Reller, had his stick lifted by Lockney. 15 seconds left in the 4-on-4, and then it will be a very brief Bobcats power play. Parsons wheels around the net, trying to make a pass that was partially cut off by Bresco. Favaro able to grab it. Price all the way across to Parsons. He ran into Kazirev, who was fresh out of the box. Meanwhile, the Bobcats now trying to look ahead as both teams back to full strength. Decumbis with a steal, looking towards Price, off a stick. Kazirev up to Brezko, throws on the brakes. Klenecki poked around by Johnson. Federley keeps it moving. Brezko just kept it in at the line. Johnson and Klenecki get there together, and Johnson wins the puck. Off for Decumbis, ahead looking for Blake Anderson. He'll wheel it around. Kazirev tossed it out. Martin drops it off, and the shot swallowed up by Bazal's stick as Klenecki stepped into it. Decumbis works ahead. Mercurio with the steal. Back to Radchenko. Martin has Demetrio with him. Tried to slide across the blue line to Mercurio. Demetrio bounced up high. Radchenko shot blocked by Bazal, and Connor Bazal heading off for a change. Under 3 to go in the Munger Physical Therapy first period. 1-1 our score. Organ towards Lockney, got through him, and icing called here against the Prowlers. We'll take a timeout. Just over 2.5 to go in period 1 here on the PHP Network.
Yeah, I don't know about this one, fellas.
Boys, we don't overcome adversity by backing down. But yeah, I don't know about this one.
That's reassuring.
We're so screwed.
All right, boys, here's a game plan. LJ, you start with bananas.
Wait, why do I have to do the bananas?
Because you're the softest on the team.
I don't want the bananas.
This thing is gonna melt. We gotta hurry up.
I won't do it.
Okay, both of you. I will do the bananas and the whipped cream. Fets, please continue.
Who's paying for this anyway?
I am. I just bought my tickets for the Prowlers game this weekend, and the Milk House gave me 25% off my order.
Fets, why'd you buy the tickets? You're literally on the team.
For the discount.
So are you all ready to give it a try?
Oh, we're ready.
It's true. Get 25% off your entire order at the Milk House, October through April. Simply show your ticket stubs at checkout and enjoy your discounted treat.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
Back here at McMorran Place, Prowlers and the Blue Ridge Bobcats tied up at a goal apiece. Will Wiggleman back with you on the PHP Network on Teacher Appreciation Night. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. If anyone in the chat would like to have a teacher mentioned, please put it in the chat and I'll try and look at it and mention some of the great teachers that you know and have been shaped by, or maybe shaped your children, but we do want to continue to honor our educators here tonight. As here's Lockney to the net, save made by Schrum with the glove. The face-off will be down in Schrum's end. Shots right now 10-9 in favor of the Bobcats after that last opportunity. Decumbis set to draw against Reller. Decumbis poked it back to Parsons. His shot slipped through the traffic off the backboards. Lockhart shot blocked by Daly. He hustles ahead on a breakaway. Daly stopped by Cooper. Justin Daly with a good block at the blue line, came in all alone, and Reed Cooper able to squeeze it with that left arm and get the whistle. That's Cooper's biggest save of this first period. Keeps it 1-1. Stuckless and Graham on the faceoff. Graham wins it back clean. Federley gets there first. Reverse back this way. Nobody there for either side. Graham hustles back to get to it. Federley on towards Lockney. Schrum plays it behind the net to Klenecki. Lockney in on the forecheck, giving Klenecki trouble. Kazirev Off a stick, here's Lockney on the backhand, just pushed it wide as Schrum sold out. Heikkala's turnaround try, scores! How about another for Arttu Heikkala? Just a turnaround shot. Schrum got a piece of it with the shoulder. And Heikkala has 2 in this first period. Hard work by Graham and Lockney down low to get that puck back. And a feeling of relief certainly for Arttu Heikkala. Prowlers looking for more with under 2 to go. They have a 2-1 lead. Anderson up high, Favaro. Rister off the back wall. Checked there by Anderson. He's able to take the puck. Cycled it back down deep, but Martin the only one available. It's Johnson, D-to-D for Favaro. Prowlers regroup and head back in. Price to DeCumbus looking for Anderson. Couldn't get the puck through to him. And DeCumbus with a steal out towards Anderson. A stickless Radchenko trying to defend. Jam play in front. Puck still loose. And it ends up off to the side of the cage. Tossed all the way down. This will be an icing against the Bobcats. No, it will not. Icing waved off, pardon me. So Blue Ridge gets a change. Favaro wheels in. Took a check from Reller. Puck kept alive. Bazal to the net. Glove save. And it's held onto by Schrum as Luke James is upended. And still, battles ensuing. Daly's glove is off. But the linesman won't let them go. It was Daly and Bucell who were tied up. Well, stick around for the first intermission report right here on the PHP Network. Go around the Empire, have some storylines from around the FPHL, out-of-town scores and more. It's all coming up here on the PHP Network first intermission report. We saw Jamie Bucell escorted to the locker room, and now more disturbances. Daly back involved again. He had to get a new stick, and now James having a chat with Daly. Daly escorted to the dressing room as well. Not sure what the penalties will be. You see the Port Huron Jayhawks set up in the hallway there. They will be out here on the McMorran Place ice for the first intermission game. Part of the Port Huron Minor Hockey Nights all season long here at McMorran. Let's see what started all that, as the puck was loose on this opportunity. That was the earlier opportunity. And then here's where James gets dumped by Erickson, and there's Daly and Bucell going at it in the goal crease. 2 minutes aside for both Bucell and Daly, so we'll get 4-on-4 hockey. Puck's down, 4-on-4 has commenced. For the rest of this period, barring any other penalties, for Roseth, smushed to the boards by Favaro. Johnson waits behind his own net, off to Favaro. Has to get away from Ferosith. Johnson couldn't keep it away from Ferosith. And now Lockney wheeling ahead to the right wing side looking for Graham. Couldn't bring it in. 5 seconds left to go. Lockney shoots, and a save by Schrum. As the puck just popped out to Lucas Lockney, and Anthony Schrum had to make a big save. Shots in that opening period, 15 for the Prowlers and 11 for the Bobcats. Arttu Heikkala found the back of the net twice. And Port Huron has a 2-1 lead. We will hear from R2 Hakala as he will be alongside our Brady Beaton. We'll see how good his English is. I feel bad putting R2 on the spot here, but he is alongside our Brady Beaton. We will cut to him in just a moment. Again, Prowlers with a 2-1 lead. And there will still be 1 minute and 19 seconds of 4-on-4 time when we come back for period number 2. Let's send it down to Brady Beaton with R2 Hakala.
Down here, ice level with R2 Hakala. R2, you scored both goals in that period. First came on the power play. What did you guys do right on the power play?
We moved the puck and guys move good and we try to keep things simple.
What do you need to do to keep scoring goals and keep having success as the game continues?
Keep the legs working on try to pass quick and play simple. That's it.
All right, let's keep it simple. R2, good luck the rest of the game.
Yeah, thank you.
Will, back up to you.
And that was Brady with R2 Hakala. Once again, coming up in the first intermission report right here on the PHP Network. Yeah, we will go around the Empire, all the highlights from last weekend's games in the Empire Division. We will also take a look at some storylines from around the FPHL, the out-of-town scores coming your way, and more. So keep it locked in here on the PHP Network for all your coverage of tonight's game and everything going on around the FPHL. Well, Brady Beaton showed it to us earlier. We have brand new Empire Division and Continental Division pucks at the Prowlers team store. It's located on the southwest end of McMorran Arena. Opens 3 p.m. every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Open till 8 on Thursdays and open till the end of the game on game days. You can also find it 24/7 online at shop.phprowlers.com. We will ship you any Prowlers gear or maybe one of those beautiful Empire Division pucks or Continental Division pucks. If you want one of those, be sure to check those out again. Shop.phprowlers.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Again, shop.phprowlers.com. Scan that QR code on your screen now. Shop all the styles. Do some last-minute Christmas shopping and get everything you need at the Prowlers team store. Little guys are out there on the ice now. The big boys will be back out about 18.5 minutes, and we will have it for you here on the PHP Network. But don't go anywhere. Around the Empire is coming up next.
Hockey is like a business. One missed pass can derail the perfect plan. Have Taft Consulting help you get your whole team on the same page. They have the expertise to help you follow through on all your goals. Find out how they can help you today by emailing taftconsulting@outlook.com.
What's more authentic than a Hungry Howie's Detroit-style pizza? Nothing. We're not playing around with the pizza of our birthplace. Thick crust, cheese to the edge, sauce on the top. where it belongs. We've seen a lot of fakes out there. Not here. This is authentic Detroit-style pizza. Order yours now online for $12.99. We sauce the top and rep for the 313 everywhere. We do bold.
Hungry?
Howie's!
Congratulations on your engagement again, man. You know, you should get some life insurance.
I never really thought about that. How would I do that?
We can help you with that at Zach Egan State Farm. Congratulations on getting married, man. Have you gotten a house?
We just got one, actually, yeah.
Well, if you want, we can help you out with life insurance at Zach Egan State Farm to cover your mortgage. Is Olin a year old now?
He is.
Wow. Have you guys got life insurance set up on him yet?
I haven't even thought about it yet.
Oh.
How would I go about that?
Well, we can help you with that at Zach Egan State Farm. High five?
Yeah, and we should have gotten life insurance years ago.
Hey, Ken. We've actually got a policy for people your age at Zach Egan State Farm. Give us a call.
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rear-view mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
Explore the 140 miles of stunning shoreline along Lake Huron. That is Michigan's Thumb Coast. Discover charming coastal towns, serene beaches, and endless outdoor adventures. Stay at cozy hotels, paddle through pristine blue waters, and hit the fairways along breathtaking views. Plan your perfect getaway at bluewater.org.
Back here in Port Huron, little guys still out there on the ice. The Port Huron Jayhawks, big boys up 2-1 on the Blue Ridge Bobcats. Well, it's time for our weekly Around the Empire segment. Plenty of teddy bear tosses. It's that time of year. So let's take a look back at last weekend's games on this edition of Around the Empire. Let's begin on the Bayou with the Scarecrows and Zydeco. Start in the second. On Friday, it's tied up at 1. Jacob Gagnon able to rip that one high glove with the Scarecrows in front. Later in the period, Ethan Matcham with a sneaky little backhander there, ties it back up. Stayed tied into the final minutes of the third. There, Gordon Whalen's shot touched home by Boston Bird in his Scarecrows debut. That was the game winner as the new guy played hero and Topeka got the win. The home side was looking for revenge the next night. First period, here come the Zydeco. Dmitry Kuznetsov steps into the one-timer and gives them the 1-0 lead. But in the second, Hunter Hall finds Avery Smith, and it's all tied up. Into the third we go. Ross Bartlett off a steal. That's the game winner, as the Zydeco earn the split in a low-scoring affair. Prowlers returned home to take on the Sentinels. Just over 2 minutes in on Friday, Jamie Bucell with the teddy bear toss goal. Fluff hitting the ice. Prowlers off to a hot start. They'd have a 2-0 lead at one point, but now it's tied late in the second. Ethan Esposito able to block a clearing attempt. His shot hits off the post, off the back of Reed Cooper, and Denver Craig makes sure it gets over the line. Goal goes to Craig. Third period, right off the face-off, shot on goal, stopped, and Alex Johnson there to hop on the rebound to tie it up. But later, just as the Prowlers' power play expires, the Sentinels spring it on for Ivan Ponovanov. And there's your game winner, as Indiana opened the weekend with 3 points. Sentinels got the early first goal the next night. Colin Tracy's shot tipped home by Craig right in front, just over 2 minutes in. Early in the second, it's 2-0 now, and this shot will get deflected twice on the way through. Zach Horn got it with the second touch, and the Sentinels make it 3-0. In the third, Prowlers within 2. Tim Organ gets them within a goal, but Port Huron never found that tying tally, and Indiana got its first sweep in franchise history. Black Bears and Hat Tricks got together for a home-and-home. Start on Friday in Danbury. First period, Noah Robinson with a rip to the top corner, and that breaks the ice for the Hat Tricks. Less than a minute later, Robinson's shot tipped home by Austin Belfay. Danbury up 2 in the first. Skip to lane the third. Here come the Black Bears. It's 2-1 now. Tyson Kirkby slams home the backdoor pass from CJ Stubbs. And this game required a shootout. Second round, it's Stubbs opening the scoring in the skills competition. That meant Johnny Ruiz had to score to keep it going.
Linesman drops the puck at center ice. Who else would you expect besides the franchise Johnny Ruiz? Third shooter for Danbury. Skates in. Backhander sent it high. Game over. Black Bears win this one by a final score of 3-2.
Brooks Hill on the Black Bears YouTube channel. Binghamton needed a shootout to escape Danbury despite outshooting the Hat Tricks 58-19. Not nearly as close the next night in New York. First period, Nick Swain turns and fires. There's another Teddy Bear toss goal. Swain wasn't done. It was 4-0 after the first. Now it's 4-1 in the second. Swain, after making the Teddy Bears hit the ice, now will put some hats on the ice. That's his third of the game. Want some more Nick Swain? Here's some patience and his fourth of the game. The second 4-goal game by a Black Bear this season. Binghamton rolls to grab 5 of a possible 6 points on the weekend. We'll finish with a 3-3 between the Wolves and the Bobcats in Wytheville. Starting on Friday, late in the second, Wolves up by a goal. Dom Della Savita blasts home his second power play goal of the period, and it's 4-2. In the third, a 1-goal game again. Puck's loose right in front. Who's going to find it? Carson Andrioli puts it to the back of the net and ties things up. Later, Nikita Kazirev gets ahead and he chucks it. And the Bobcats find themselves in front with 3 unanswered. But in the final minute, Wolves with a 6-on-5 attack. Brad Reiter gets the rebound and puts it home, and it's all tied up with 35 seconds to go. Would we get overtime? We would not. PJ Demetrio able to get that one through Colgan somehow. And the Cats take a wild back and forth game to open the weekend, with the game winner coming in the final 8 seconds. Moving to the next night, Kazirev with a 1-0 Wolves lead ties things up, and there's our third Teddy Bear toss of this week's Around the Empire, but the Wolves would build a lead from there. In the second, FM Michigan with the wraparound, his second of the period, makes it 4-1 Watertown. Later in the frame, it's 4-2, and they stretch it on for Brandon Reller. Cats with a chance, just down 1 heading into the third. That's as close as Blue Ridge got. Tying goal never came, and the Wolves held on for their first win of the weekend. That set up a Sunday rubber match. Start late in the second, 3-1 Watertown. Tic-tac-toe passing, tapped home by Chris Corrigan. Final minute of the frame. Trevor Graspy, last year's Rookie of the Year. He's back in Watertown. His first goal as a Wolf this season. It was 5-1 at that point. It was 5-3 late, make it 5-4 as Daniel Klinecki blasts one from the point. But again, the Bobcats couldn't dig out of the hole fully, and Watertown took 2 of 3 on the road. Let's take a look at the standings. No movement, but the Scarecrows and the Hat Tricks both within striking distance of the Prowlers for the second place spot in the division. Wolves and Bobcats also hoping to make things interesting. That means both Port Huron and Blue Ridge need points. We'll see who can get some tonight, as second period action is coming up on the PHP Network. Welcome to the new era of Prowlers hockey. New owner, new store, new horn, fire, projectors on the ice. Yeah, this isn't your dad's McMorrin experience. This is Prowlers Hockey. Get your tickets for the show now at phprowlers.com/tickets.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
On Prowlers Hockey, it's presented by Initial shot. Back here in Port Huron, Prowlers lead the Blue Ridge Bobcats by a score of 2-1. Shout out Petaway for sponsoring tonight's Teacher Appreciation Night here in Port Huron. Petaway Mediterranean Eats, we'll hear more about them coming up later in the broadcast. But before we continue on in this game, let's take a look around the FPHL. We start with some storylines from around the league. Very PD Ice Cats heavy FPHL storylines. And we start with a lengthy suspension, somehow not the lengthiest suspension handed out by the FPHL this season, but a lengthy one nonetheless. Dominik Marcinkovic suspended 6 games, 4 of them for a hit from behind, which sent Dustin Paralat of the Athens Rock Lobsters to the hospital. And he got 4 games for that. And then before that, actually, in the first period, Marcinkovic got 2 games for a lewd gesture from earlier in that game. So 4 + 2, that is a 6-gamer for Dominik Marcinkovic, who this season has 30 points in just 19 games for the high-flying, high-scoring PD Ice Cats. Ice Cats also traded for Sean Kuhn, goaltender from the Monroe Moccasins. He's 6-0-2 with a 308 goals against average and an .885 save percentage. Now the Moccasins, with 3 completely different goaltenders now in their room. They've gotten rid of all 3 goalies that they started the season with, and the highest scoring team in the FPHL in the Moccasins with 3 new options in net. And we'll see how that goes for them as they try and make sure they're locked down on the defensive side as well. But Kuhn gets another opportunity with the Ice Cats in PD. And he will have a new forward as those logos are backwards, but Austin Pickford and Vadim Frolov are switching teams. Frolov traded from the Danbury Hat-Tricks to the PD Ice Cats in exchange for Pickford and the rights to Emantis Norica, who is currently in the SPHL. Frolov, of course, one of the top players for the Danbury Hat-Tricks, 6 points in 8 games this season, had 49 points last year as a rookie. He's now a member of the Ice Cats, and Pickford comes in to help lock down defensively for the Hat-Tricks, who also had Trey Delory go inactive as he signed in the SPHL earlier this week. So Pickford going to help out the Hat-Tricks. And if Emantis Norica ever leaves the SPHL and decides to come back to the Fed, that would be a huge pickup for the Hat-Tricks. Right now, it's Frolov again going to PD and Norica and Pickford to Danbury. Let's take a look at the out-of-town scores right now. As plenty of other action going on around the FPHL tonight. And we start with the Danbury Hat-Tricks and the Binghamton Black Bears. It's already 3-0 Black Bears. They are already into period number 2. Zach Sirota, CJ Stubbs, and Tyson Kirkby have the goals for the Bears in Binghamton. 20 minutes down, no goals yet between the Ice Cats and the Thunderbirds. Ricky Gonzalez going for the Ice Cats in net. Boris Babik for the Thunderbirds. Sentinels riding a 3-game winning streak, taking on the Watertown Wolves in Indiana, looking for their first home win in franchise history. Ethan Esposito and Aaron Shaheen have them up 2-1. Igor Filipov has the only goal for Watertown. They're still playing late in period 1. Still in the first in Columbus, the Dragons have a 3-0 lead on the Athens Rock Lobsters. Tyler Barrow, Kevin Zabad, and Alex Sturjahan are the goal scorers there. Getting set to go and actually just dropping the puck, the Monroe Moccasins and Biloxi Breakers in Biloxi. Anton Borodkin in between the pipes for the Breakers, and Tyler Masternak in between the pipes for the Moccasins, who again, we mentioned 3 completely new goaltenders now in that room. Masternak, Gabe Rosek, who got a shootout win last night, or overtime win last night, pardon me, against the Baton Rouge Zydeco, and Nolan Egbert, the former Binghamton Black Bear. Those are the 3 netminders in Monroe now. And they have just dropped the puck from the Mississippi Coast Coliseum. One more game going on tonight. The Topeka Scarecrows and the Baton Rouge Zydeco have yet to drop the puck. It should in just a few moments. No word yet on who will be starting in net. Outtown Scoreboard presented by Love After Hours Boutique and Boudoir. Use code Prowlers for 15% off at Love After Hours. Let's turn our attention back to this game. Take a look at the stats so far. A 2-1 lead for the Prowlers. 15-11, they're up on shots on goal, and that is not a typo. The Prowlers do have a power play goal in this game. They scored their first power play goal in 25 opportunities, and then failed on the power play after that, their third of the night, which only lasted 5 seconds due to a penalty. But the Prowlers have a power play goal, and they have a 2-1 lead as the Bobcats hit the ice, soon to be followed by the Port Huron Prowlers. And I'm pleased to welcome onto the show the general manager of the Motor City Rockers, Nick Field. This may be the first and only time someone who is employed by the Rockers will be on my show, so welcome.
Thanks, Will. Appreciate it. Good to be here and enjoying some good hockey tonight.
Yes, it's been a fun game. Good first period for the Prowlers, but what have you been up to with everything going on, and obviously Ken Andrews now buying the Prowlers, and how have you been able to help out us up here? How's that been going?
Yeah, to be honest, not much on the ice. Like, I'm staying away from the hockey operations side of things. I've been working with the group and the team off the ice on the business side of things. When I say the team, I'm talking about the team off the ice. But overall, really focusing on Motor City and working towards getting that solidified for next year.
Yeah, is there any update about how everything's going with that coming back next year?
Yeah, things are going good. The city we're working with has been very open and receptive. We're just kind of going through the final processes of getting all the details in order, but hopefully we should have something here soon over the next few weeks.
Well, Nick, we got some 4-on-4 hockey here for next minute 19. Jamie Bucell and Justin Daly sitting in the penalty boxes. A little bit of open ice here. Here comes Kazirev, steps around his man. Kazirev cuts the slot, he scores! Just 11 seconds into the middle frame, the Bobcats have tied it.
Yeah, that was a good push there by Blue Ridge right off the hop here in the period. Just got a little light on the gap in the D zone there and gave him a good quality scoring chance.
And I'll start with a drop pass attempt by the Prowlers in the offensive zone right at the Blue Ridge blue line. And Kazirev was able to take it the other direction.
Yeah, in hockey, the big things are take care of the blue lines, both offensive zone and defensive zone, an unfortunate circumstance there for Port Huron.
Third goal of the year for Kazirev. Both of his goals so far this season came last weekend against the Watertown Wolves. There's Daniel Martin with a rising shot glove down by Cooper. This is the Hungry Howie second period as we get a face-off down in Cooper's end. Still 53 seconds left in the 4-on-4. Prowlers sending out Graham and Lockney up front for this face-off. Graham will draw against Martin. Martin won it back. Lavic's quick shot was sticked out of play by Cooper.
Don't want to be giving up those quality shots off face-offs, but it's going to happen from time to time, but hopefully they can get out there and get some pressure on the guy next time.
Graham able to push it to the middle, got caught up in Mercurio's skates. Graham banks it ahead to Lockney, working 1-on-3. Lockney peels back up the boards. Takes a look, drops it off to Favaro. Backdoor play, Graham! Just couldn't get a good touch on it. I think he just tried to tap it towards the net. Couldn't catch and shoot. Trump made the save, and that puck ends up out of play.
Yeah, that was a great look by Favaro there. Had Graham backdoored, slid it through, just couldn't finish on the pass there.
Maybe just a little too hot to handle for Graham to catch it and shoot it.
Those are tough plays to manage, too. It's coming straight at you with some heat on it. So Graham did all he could to try and get that. It just didn't work out.
Graham and Favaro both tied with 8 goals this season atop the list for the Prowlers. Ferusith blew a tire as he tried to bring in that pass. Port Huron will regroup. Sent ahead to James. Got off his stick. No, it actually missed his stick, so that's an icing.
I thought for sure you got a piece of that.
17 seconds left in the 4-on-4, and the draw will come all the way back to the Prowlers' end. Let's say hello up here in the broadcast booth. Again, Will Wiggleman, Nick Field, and Zach Dotson, our graphics operator as well. Hanging out up here with you on this Friday night. Andrioli's quick shot towards the net was blocked. Bounce ahead to Cumbus, trying to wheel forward, but he was caught by Andrioli. 2-on-2 rush the other way. It's Klinecki. Back to Ferusith. Good stick by Parsons. He'll start a rush with James. James has Parsons going to the net. Floated it there. But up in the air, and Parsons couldn't knock it down.
James had a good look there, just didn't connect.
James run over in the corner by Daly. Graham pulls it out of the corner. Graham turnaround try around the net, and Trum stayed right with him.
It's a good push there by Port Huron on the initial rush, and then Graham wanted a nice puck battle there in the corner to create another scoring chance.
Matt Graham, of course, always a guy looking past first, but he decided to shoot that one from the sharp angle as he came around the net. Maybe tried to catch Schrum off his post a little bit.
Yeah, I think Graham's always a pass-first guy. He's a good playmaker, and he's always looking to find an option. So he took what he had there and tried to get a shot on net, which the goalie came up with a big save.
Second in FPHL history with 381 career assists, Matt Graham. His line's off the ice now as it's moved ahead by the Bobcats. Oregon for Bucell. Artu Hakelet taking a shift on this line with Bucell and Bazal. Lavak ahead to Kazirev, bounce past him. Prowlers dump it right back deep. Lavak again. Lead feed all the way up to Bresco. Prowlers rushing off the bench to get to Bresco, and his backhand knocked down by Cooper. Centering pass was bumped back by DeCumbus. Kazirev on his backhand, swept it to the line. Shot came through and wide. Martin back on goal, steered to the corner by Cooper. Demetrio back on it, chased by Johnson. Got to Martin. Bobcats just finished up a change. Martin looking for an option. 3 Prowlers digging away. And Johnson comes up with the puck. DeCumbus lost it. Martin shot gloved and held by Cooper as he bails out his teammate.
That's a huge save by Cooper. That's a real quality look there that Brewer was able to get, and Cooper came up big there.
As DeCumbus tried to pull it to his forehand, and Martin stole it and put it right into Cooper's glove.
Yeah, I thought Port Huron did a good job winning that puck battle down low, and just an unfortunate mistake there that cost a quality scoring chance.
They'll get it out this time. Lockney with Price. Lockney to the net. All the way around it goes. Graham keeps it deep. Around to Lockney. Centered out in front looking for Price. Parsons steps into it. Off the crossbar. And then bounce past Price. And now they blow it dead. They got to talk about it. That's what it looks like. Let's see if we can get our possibly an overhead look at this. Brian Parsons stepped right. Oh, that's in. That's in. Here it is. You'll hear the fan reaction as well in just a moment. That's a goal. And the fans here in McMorran Place have seen it.
Camera system that he put in for those exact reasons, because without that camera system, we might not get the look.
Prowlers have just watched it on the bench and went down the line. Now the only question is, did somebody deflect that on the way through? I think Bobby Price may have gotten a piece of it.
Yeah, generally speaking, from a shot from that distance, when it goes up, bar down like that, you're gonna have somebody get a piece of it.
And the official signal here from the referee as a good goal for the Prowlers, and they take back the lead. Let's get one more look at this fantastic overhead view. And this is what we did all the work for, to get that overhead view on this broadcast. For the moments like this. Super slow-mo, and there you see it, hit the back bar. You knew that crossbar didn't sound quite right.
Yeah, you know, you get the hollow sound. You know, it probably wasn't a solid post there. So good shot, good deflection, which I believe it got deflected, and Prowlers got the lead again.
Here's Daly with an outside try, cut off by Johnson. Forsyth lost it to Lockney, pops out to the middle, right to Graham. As Hakel and Lockney hustling to join him. Graham slows up, Graham to the slot, and just stick handled it off his own stick.
See, that's Graham's pass-first mentality there. He got himself in the high slot. He could have easily threw that to the net there.
Forsyth trying to dangle around Favaro. That didn't work. Forsyth ends up with the puck back on his stick. Graham plays it away from Daly. Graham harassed by Justin Daly, able to find a teammate in Johnson.
He was at the end of his shift. That's a good battle to win that puck possession there.
Lead pass, Hakel with 2 in the game, and his shots stick to the corner by Schrum. Planecki up towards Daly. Batted around, Daly lost it off to Lockhart. Indirect pass, Bazal took a hit from Stuckless. Bucell trying to pick Radchenko's pocket. Parsons back up the boards, hit a stanchion and ended up out of the zone. Turn right back up ahead to Stuckless, but he had to wait as his team wasn't fully out. Lockhart's lead pass hit a stick. Stuckless turned it right over to Lockhart. He'll send Morick on his way. Morick just gets it deep as he's run into the boards by Erickson. Blue Ridge trying to settle things down and get a play going. Sent ahead to Bresco. Working on Organ. Tied up in the corner. Federley trying to dig it out. 3 Prowlers, 2 Bobcats in there. And Federley finally able to grab it. He'll wheel ahead. Right wing side, it's Anderson, but the pass was just a bit behind him, and that draws the whole play offside.
After that poor Huron goal there, the pace was going back and forth pretty good there. I know both teams are probably going to want to try and get some zone time here, but we'll see how it goes the rest of the period.
We'll be right back. Just over 5 minutes gone in period 2. Prowlers back in front. back here in Port Huron. Prowlers with a 3-2 lead over the Blue Ridge Bobcats. Got Star Wars music going on here. Prowlers Star Wars night is in February, but right now, for a limited time, tonight and tomorrow, only in the in-arena team store, you can get our special Star Wars holiday bundle. 2 adult tickets, 2 child tickets, and 2 Prowlers lightsabers for just $75. So come out to the game tomorrow night, get that exclusive deal because it's going away after tomorrow.
Yeah, right before that media break, after the Prowlers goal, both teams had a little bit of pace back and forth there. I'm sure both teams would prefer to have some zone time, but you know, the pace kind of got going there for a minute.
Face-off deep in the Bobcat zone. As Blake Anderson gets set to take it. Federley off to Price, shot towards the net, hit the side of the cage, batted back in front, set at the side of the net. And Vinny DeCumbitz just swiped it wide. That puck was bouncing and rolling, and DeCumbitz just couldn't get a good touch on it on his backhand. Mercurio down behind the play after taking a hit. Meanwhile, Martin ran into Organ, and now they blow it dead for Mercurio. There's blood down there on the ice.
I didn't see a call on that, Will.
I didn't see either referee raise his arm either.
So far into this second period, Blue Ridge hasn't really generated much offensively as far as quality goes, other than the one, unfortunate play where they got that quality looking at goal. Other than that, they haven't generated anything.
There was the chance for DeCumbitz, and now we see if we can see what happens to Mercurio here. Ooh, I think he just hit his face on the dasher there.
Yeah, that's just the clean hit. Unfortunate circumstance for the Blue Ridge player.
It was from the side. And certainly clean hit there. I'll have to clean up the blood. Looking for a pregame meal. Zip Sauce Burger is located in the Industrial Park Marathon. Zip Sauce, the official burger of the Port Huron Prowlers. They're electing to not clean up the pile of blood over there in the Bobcats end. Strangely, you see it there. I mean, usually they bring out the scraper, the shovel, something.
Are they going to do it?
I mean,
they got it at center ice.
Let's look, they found a couple of dots at center, and now they'll call out the arena crew, and hopefully someone from the arena crew has spotted that. Nice little.
Yeah, I was going to say the next question is going to be, are they just worried about the center ice, or do they even see the corner down there?
Here comes the McMorran staff with the scraper and the shovel.
No teeth, eh, Will?
I don't see any down there.
Uh-oh. I don't think he's seen the
I don't think they've seen the main one. They found another one by the blue line.
Oh, we got a second crew coming out.
There Come on, Travis, look over there. Yeah, they found it.
Now, is that a health safety issue, or because I'm not real sure what the impact on the game would be? You know, sarcastically speaking, of course.
I just don't think anyone wants red on their blades.
Right.
And it dulls it, I've heard. I've heard blood dulls your skates.
Yeah.
You take another look at the hit. It's Price. He just kind of got sandwiched between 2 Prowlers there.
Although, Will, I thought iron sharpens iron.
That's true. That's a good one. Yeah, that's a little bit of a thinker. But
big brain here.
Those medical staff at home knew what you were talking about right away.
Exactly.
Maybe we have some science teachers at home as well tuning in tonight on Teacher Appreciation Night.
Yeah, it's great. That's the one thing that minor league sports in general does a great job of, is coming up with different promotions and different reasons to recognize people in the community and get them an opportunity to come out and enjoy a great event.
Teacher Appreciation Night tonight. We had local business night earlier this year, which was a great one. Of course, military appreciation, hometown heroes. Those are great nights as well.
You know, all those things used to be simply in minor league sports, but you start to see the major league teams, focusing on that stuff. I don't know that it makes an impact at that level, but definitely at the minor league level, the people that don't get recognized as much and honored, it definitely hits home.
It's so much more of an intimate environment at the minor league level. And the fans in here recognize that. They know they have a lot more access to a Prowlers player than they would a Detroit Red Wings player. And that's what makes minor league sports so special. Oh, there's Mitz. We'll be celebrating Mitz's birthday in January. Mitz knew exactly where the camera was.
How old is Mitz going to be, by the way?
11.
11 years old. He acts like it.
Been here since day one. Yeah. We see Snowball up here?
His name is Slash, by the way. I do believe Slash will be here for that night.
I got chewed out in an email for that last year.
Oh, yeah. Not by me, of course. I'm all good for friendly competition.
So I'll be honest, I legitimately forgot that his name was Slash. I just said Snowball because we've been calling him Snowball just for that long, and I may have struck a nerve with somebody.
Definitely not me.
Yeah, but we did see him here opening night. He was walking around and hanging out.
Hopefully he's keeping sharp in the offseason here for us and be back ready to rock next year.
Yeah. It was always fun when we got Mitz down to the Rockers games.
Yeah, I think it's great. That's the one thing about Heavy Motor City here with Port Huron is, and I'm sure you can agree, both on the ice and from a fan standpoint, it's second to none to have a close rival like that.
Absolutely, and you saw both teams' fans making the trips. I mean, you saw Port Huron fans down in Motor City, and of course vice versa. And the Prowlers, I talked to the Prowlers a lot last year about how much they enjoyed having their fans down there. And I'm from New York, so I liken it to an Islanders-Rangers thing where you got Islanders fans at MSG, you got Rangers fans at UBS Arena, and it's always been like that forever. And I'm glad we're building that with the Prowlers and the Rockers.
Yeah, and you know what? Being directly involved in the hockey side of things, the teams take it. It's the biggest thing for the teams as well. They really embrace it.
Let's get back to some hockey here as Brandon Reller sweeps the puck all the way around for Rousseff. Taken in by Johnson. Now Favaro around, and Hakala able to bounce it out. Johnson tried to bump it ahead. Johnson shoved down by Daly. Favaro all the way around the wall. Keeps it moving. Hakala able to poke it in deep. Klinecki ridden off by Hakala. Lockney takes the puck. Prowler streaming off the bench to help. Lockhart D to D. Parsons sends it through, tipped wide.
That quality scoring chance came from a strong F1 effort there by the forechecker to go and create some controversy for the D guys who created the turnover there.
Brian Parsons always so good at getting the puck through, even along the ice, and he did get a deflection there, just went wide.
Yeah, a lot of times quality chances do come from the outside just simply because of the traffic and what can happen.
Brett Lockhart was reading that two-line pass the whole way. Here's James with a shot towards the net, juggled by Schrum, puck still loose, and sent over to the far side. Stuckless wheels ahead with Bresco, gave it to him. Bresco throws on the break, tried to bump it up high, but James right there to take it away. Lockhart skates into the puck. Lockhart tried to drag it around, couldn't do it. Back comes Blue Ridge. Lavac with help joining him. He'll just send a long-range shot in on Cooper. He'll swallow it up. Bobcats playing the field position game there. They'll get an offensive zone face-off.
Yeah, that was a nice play by the Blue Ridge defenseman there. He had a nice gap on the Prowlers player entering the zone and just took his time in space away, which didn't allow him to make a pass there.
Shots in this period, 6-6. Prowlers up in that department, 21-17.
I'll say this, if Blue Ridge has 6 shots, other than the goal, the other 5 are simply perimeter shots that Cooper had no problem handling.
Face-off win by Tecumseh. It's bumped back up his direction.
We got some action up here in center ice.
Price is dropping the mitts here with Andrioli. Both of them go down quickly. Price got Andrioli down first. Andrioli got back up, threw a couple more at Price, And then he went down.
Not real sure where that came from. Obviously, both guys are going to go. I think they would have liked to have a little better bout than that, but credit to both of them for dropping them.
Not sure if that started right there, if there was a little bit of back to what happened in Blue Ridge between these teams. You see there, Andrioli got back to his skates and got Price off balance.
Well, Will, if it is something that is, coming from a little bit of history, I guarantee if that's the case, these two guys might go back at it again.
Well, of course, it was Andrioli that knocked Reggie Millette out of the lineup for a while, as there's a new player on the ice wearing number 6. And by that, I mean that's actually Mike Mercurio. I guess there's too much blood on his jersey. It looks like he'll be wearing number 6 the rest of the night instead of his usual 23. How fast do the washing machines work here?
Yeah. How fast do they work anywhere is the question.
Here's Mercurio. Popped it out to the slot. Good play by Anderson to be right there to take it away.
That's good D-zone coverage by Anderson, right where he needs to be, and that's where the puck came.
Anderson looking towards Oregon. Steps around, a couple of bodies flying. Oregon looking back for Anderson. Now it's taken away. Dumped out, Martin taps it back for Mercurio. He tried to get in, but a penalty coming up here, and looks like Luke James is drawing another one. That's something he does very well.
Yeah, so that's just a lack of discipline by the Blue Ridge player. James finished a check, and then he didn't like it, so he retaliated, put his team down 2.
It's Flavak who turned around and knocked the stick out of James's hands. And noted pest Luke James laughing his way to the bench. His team on its 4th power play of the game. And they are 1 for 3. They have Graham's unit out there to start. Slashing, of course, the call. Comes to the boards. Lockney able to poke it away from Reller, who was looking to clear it, but Daly came all the way down to send it the length of the ice. Port Huron will start 185 feet from Anthony Schrum. Bucell gets the red line, gets the Blue Ridge blue line. The pass by Graham is taken away and cleared down.
So the key on a power play on the breakout in the zone entry is you got 2 options. You either get to the blue line with speed and you can gain the zone, or you got to get it deep and let your guys get after it.
Anderson gets in with some speed. Curlin drag shot, tried to go short side and missed. Morick lined up right in front of Schrum as Federley walks the blue line. Lockney misplayed the pass. Here comes Reller short-handed, and then he fanned on the shot.
Unfortunate for Port Huron and unfortunate for Blue Ridge.
No harm, no foul. Halfway through this Prowlers power play. Anderson on the forehand from the outside, and Schrum able to hang on. Morick taking some punishment from Demetrio.
On that play by Anderson, you got the zone with some speed. He had a little bit of a lane, but that's a wide angle shot. I would have liked to see him just drive deep, peel back, and set up for the power play.
55 seconds remaining on the power play for the Prowlers.
But, Will, I will say this. It's a lot easier standing 80 feet above the ice than it is on the ice.
It is. Nice view up here.
Yeah.
Jamie Bucell back out here with the other power play unit, with Price in the box after his fight. Hakala pulls it off the wall. Hakala shot knocked down by Schrum. It was loose for a moment, cleared by Stuckless.
It's a good scoring chance there. You got the puck off the half wall, had a direct lane to the net, took it, and had a good quality chance.
Bucell gets the blue line. Hakala tried to go back to Bucell. Lockhart pinches in, bumped it up high to Hakala. Prowlers set up. Lockhart moves up the wall. As Favaro got it to him. Pass was off his skate. Andrei Simonchek turns and fires it off a Prowler stick just out of the zone.
12 seconds.
12 seconds left. Flavak set to come out. Favaro off to Anderson. Back down low. Favaro pokes it to Morick. Back pass in front, right on the tape of Martin. And they try and spring Flavak out of the box, but the pass missed him. Back comes Anderson with speed. Hands it up to Zoll. Anderson, Morik off his skate. And now they send it to Kazirev, who is off the bench. But he'll negate the icing. Cooper plays it away. Prowlers try and come back again.
Prowlers generated a couple quality looks on that power play, including that last rush. That was a nice play, just didn't connect.
Oregon couldn't get his pass to a teammate. Federley will just pitchfork it deep, and Schrum drops it behind the net for Klinecki. Pass in front, turned over. Lockney turnaround try, hit a body. James couldn't get it away from Klinecki. Up comes Bresco with Kazirev. Bresco right back on that puck, spins off a check. Johnson takes it away. And Favaro looks for an outlet. Pass cut off. Bresco claps it down deep. James able to spin it to a teammate. Morik back to James. Prowlers need a change here. Morik couldn't get it deep, but it did go off him and into the Port Huron bench, so we'll get a whistle and a timeout. That's the midway point of period 2. Prowlers still up by 1 here in Port Huron.
Hockey is like a business. One missed pass can derail the perfect plan. Have Taft Consulting help you get your whole team on the same page. They have the expertise to help you follow through on all your goals. Find out how they can help you today by emailing Taft.
Up here in the booth. Again, thanks so much for joining us. What have you thought about your color commentary so far?
Yeah, it's a good experience here. It's nice to be up here to be part of it and see the game from up here. And I do want to mention, like Will, like you guys do such a great job with your broadcast, and you know, over the years, it's been very enjoyable to hear you, you know, through the broadcast and on YouTube, and you guys do a great job.
Well, thank you. I'll tell you right now, though, I'm staying up here. Get back to the action here. Graham trying to pull it into the offensive zone. Back up top, Favaro. Backpedal, shoots, knocked down on the way through. And out comes Reller. Cross corner dump, Favaro gets there ahead of Daly. Broseth had his stick lifted. Here comes Lockney. Hakala in on the right wing side. Sends it to an area where Johnson can retrieve. Centering pass, Lockney towards Graham. Pass was just behind him. High flip, ends up dropping in front of the Prowler bench. And we will take you down to Brady Beaton, who is chatting with Prowler Associate Head Coach Chris Paulin.
Down on the Prowlers bench with Associate Head Coach Chris Paulin. Coach, up 3-2 midway through the second. You've had ebbs and flows. When things have been going well, what have you been doing right?
Yeah, getting pucks deep in their zone, playing behind their D, making their D turn and play defense. That's a strength of ours, I think, and when the forecheck's going, I think we've been disruptive. We have a good plan of attack off of it. Just got to get more pucks deep, I think.
You were able to get an early power play goal. What did you guys start to do right on that power play that you hadn't been doing?
Execute the routes.
So up a goal, what do you need to do the last, about 29 minutes to hold on and get a win?
F1 on the back check needs to be really, really, really good. We need to get pucks deep, play behind their D.
Coach, I appreciate it. Good luck.
Thank you.
Will, back up to you.
Thank you, Brady, and Prowler Associate Head Coach Chris Paul. And looks like we have a penalty coming up here, as Anderson's down behind the net and heading over to the sin bin. Looks like Philip Levac, and tripping the call.
Yeah, Anderson did a good job there. He does what he does. He jumped the draw, went down there, put pressure on the D-man, and then put the D-man in a tough spot. Had to take a penalty.
1 for 4 on the power play are the Prowlers so far. Let's take another look at that one. Anderson so shifty, has great speed, and was looking to wheel around that net. Matt Graham's unit back out there. Off the face-off, Radchenko bounces around behind the net, stolen away by Bucell. And Johnson grabs it back at the blue line. Across to Federley. Lockney looking for options. Turns the corner, looks to the net, hit his own man Bucell. Graham all the way up top. Federley shoots it just wide as he filtered it through the traffic. Johnson now low to Graham. Back to Federley. Walks, shoots, save, rebound. Lockney got hit with the puck in the face, and Schrum has it in his glove.
That almost found its way into the back of the net there, Will.
The Bobcats were able to chop at it to get it out of danger and end up hitting Lockney in the face and landed in Schrum's glove.
So one of the things that some of the metrics that some teams use is on special teams, the goal for every game is to be greater than 100%. And what I mean by that is you take your percentage on the PK and on the power play and you combine them. And if you're over 100%, it's one of the key metrics to winning a game. And I believe the Prowlers right now are at 125%.
Well, Prowlers are there right now. I may have sold Anthony Schrum a little bit short on that last save. He had to really juggle that one to freeze it. There's Lockhart. Down to Price, who's out of the box after his fight. His shot punched out by Schrum. Halfway through the Prowlers power play. Lockhart trying to make a pass down low, off a stick. Daly able to diffuse some of the pressure. And then Daly blew a tire, still able to get it deep, and Cooper leaves it for Favaro. Back up they come. Price drops it off to Favaro. Got it down deep. Anderson couldn't bring in the pass, and it's clapped all the way down by Klinecki. 30 seconds left on this Prowlers power play. Anderson wheels into the offensive zone, made a move, lost the puck. Klinecki will delay and send it all the way back down again.
Got time for one last rush here. Hopefully they can get some speed, get in the zone, and continue it off the power play here.
Favaro gets in with 8 left. Throws on the brakes. Graham taps it back to himself. Up high, Lockney. Bucell at the line. Wrists it through. And I don't know if that got all the way to Schrum or not. They try and catch him off his post. Now Graham tried to bank it. And that didn't work either. Johnson upended in the corner. Lockney lifts a stick, gets it to the line. Federley catch and shoot off the backboards. Didn't come all the way back out, got stuck on the side of the net, and now we have a pile up.
Wow, what an unfortunate bounce. That was coming right back to the crease, and I think Graham was there to bury it and just got stuck in the net there on the way back.
Either Graham or Johnson. And you see Alex Johnson getting his twig, getting back to his skates. We will take a timeout here late in period number 2. That puck just wouldn't come back out for the Prowlers.
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers.
Authentic Detroit-style pizza. Order yours now online. Authentic Detroit-style pizza. Order yours now online for $12.99. We sauce the top and rep for the 313 everywhere. We do bold. Hungry?
Howie's! Back here at McMorran Place, Prowlers with a 3-2 lead. Almost could have made it 4-2 if that puck bounced all the way back to the front, but instead got stuck there in the apron on the side of the net. And a fortunate bounce for the Bobcats. And you see Alex Johnson there getting involved, and he ended up at the bottom of a pile. And then during the TV timeout, there's Alex Johnson and Andrei Simonchek in their respective penalty boxes.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. They had some words and a little bit of pushing in between the whistles there during the timeout.
Is Johnson in there signing an autograph?
Maybe they're talking about where to meet up for dinner after the game.
That's what it was. Johnson put down his phone number so they can make sure that they head to the right spot.
Usually when that happens, they're both, saying, hey, what the heck was that for? What the heck was that for? And then they're just, basically just stating their case. So a lot of times when you see that, it's guys basically just respecting each other and being like, you didn't have to do that, and, one of those conversations.
Well, it looks like just 2s, not 10s for these guys, and we'll get some more 4-on-4 hockey. Nick Stuckless goes off the boards, taken away by Anderson. Trying to push past Kazirev. Instead, Klinecki takes over. Andrioli gets the red line, fires it around. Moved ahead. Price wheels back, and he'll go back to the neutral zone.
That's a nice play by Andrioli there to surf over and take the angle away of Featherly.
Came all the way in on Schrum. He elects to cover up. This should mean no change for the Bobcats, I believe, unless DeCumbus did touch it, and they will say indeed no change for Blue Ridge. Peterway Mediterranean Eats in Fort Cratchit serves delicious Mediterranean food and offers delivery, dine-in, and catering. Are you ready for something delicious? Head over to Peterway, the sponsor of tonight's Teacher Appreciation Night game. Parsons hands it off to his defense partner Lockhart. Wheeling in right up the gut, off to Lockney. He's forced out of the zone by Daly. Now it's Parsons leading the rush. 1-on-3. Throws on the brakes, waits for help. Send it all the way around. Lockney gets there ahead of Andrioli. Back to Lockhart. Prowlers will try another zone entry. Parsons couldn't get it all the way down to Lockney. He took a hard check from Andrioli, did Lucas Lockney. Graham digging away. Puck found by Daly. Daly couldn't push past Parsons with the puck. Oregon trying to wheel ahead, but he lost it. Sent up towards Reller, but unable to get anything on that pass was Andrioli. Hakala towards Favaro. Couldn't bounce it up. And now it's Reller turning it the other direction. 4 Prowlers back as Reller's shot kicked out. Rebound, another save by Cooper.
That was a nice play there by Cooper. He took the original shot, which was a better look than it looked. May have looked from the outside, and then followed up with a rebound. Was in position to freeze it.
It was Flavak who got the second opportunity. In a 2-on-4 rush, the Bobcats get 2 shots.
These last 3 minutes here, Port Huron's not going to want to let Blue Ridge get any momentum or do anything worse here in the last 3 minutes. So watch for that.
Lockhart with 10 seconds left in the 4-on-4. They'll go back to Federley. Dropped again to Bucell, and he'll wheel up with speed. Bucell, stick handles, got the puck knocked off his stick. Both teams back to full strength. Puck lost there by Radchenko. Martin trying to get it back into the Prowlers zone. Federley tosses it right back out. Glove down. Chopped around, and they'll say offsides here against the Prowlers.
Yeah, in a 1-goal game, late in the period, most teams are going to want to keep everything safe, meaning just make the simple plays to get the puck out of the zone, get the puck in the neutral zone. If you don't have a clear lane to gain zone entry, you're going to want to get it deep and try and hem them down low. So look for some safe hockey decisions here by the Prowlers the last couple minutes.
Face off one back by the Bobcats. Bacon moves ahead, chased by Hakala. Parsons retreats. Moved it all the way around, comes out of the zone. Graham skates into it, has Hakala with him. Graham slows up. Looking for an option, found Favaro jumping in on the rush. Favaro battling with Stuckless. Kazirev grabs the puck. Favaro comes back to lift his stick. And now Lockney back in. Gets around Andrioli. Lockney throws on the brakes behind the cage with some space. Up high it goes to Oregon fresh off the bench. Back to Lockney. Now Parsons. Wrists it down deep. Hakala after it. Hakala cycles it towards Graham. Spinning off of Bacon. Back pass in front. And unable to get that one on goal was Hakala. He was tied up. Now Graham with a steal. Graham in front looking for Hakala, who's knocked away. Oregon turns it right back into Price. Delayed offsides here against the Prowlers as they were making a change and not everybody exited the offensive zone. Bacon ahead to Demetrio. And it neatly taken off his stick by Federle. Anderson 1-on-2. And his stick lifted, still able to slide it deep as we hit the final minute of this Hungry Howie's second period. Federle kept it in at the line. Radchenko able to bounce it out this time off the window. Federle ahead. Anderson just gets a touch on it. And now it's Radchenko's turn. He connects a pass to Martin. Anderson knocks it out of the air. Off to DeCumbis. Wrist shot stopped by Schrum right at the top of his crease.
That's a heck of a play by Anderson to knock that puck out of midair through the neutral zone, because if it gets by him, it looks like the guy might have had a clear lane to the net.
33.4 seconds left to go in period number 2. Coming up on the PHP Network Intermission Report, we'll have highlights and analysis from these opening 40 minutes. Also take a look at the Prowlers' upcoming schedule, out-of-town scores, and more. It's all coming up here on PHP Network. The tech crew here on the PHP Network will also have fun using the overhead cameras to show a replay of what is currently being called Matt Graham's goal from earlier on in this period.
So they said Matt deflected that one?
They did, yes. At least that was the original call.
Yeah, like we suspected, the way that went in, and we thought it was deflected, so that would make some sense there.
I wasn't sure if it was Graham or Price who got a touch on it, but either way. 13 seconds left to go. Johnson up to Bazal, slid it through. 4 seconds, Bucell with a shot stopped by Schrum, rebound available. Johnson wristed after the horn, and that's going to cause trouble. Daly and Johnson tied up. Daly still with his glove on, trying to get after Alex Johnson, who again put that shot on after the buzzer sounded. Johnson with one glove and no helmet will head back towards the benches. Daly is wrestled off the ice. Great look there from Aiden Vision down there in the tunnel.
Yeah, that shot was slightly after the buzzer there. So anytime that happens, expect a reaction from the opposing team. But didn't seem like Daly wanted anything to do with Johnson on that one.
Tonight's referees Jonathan Satarski and Jim Scarpe says there's the chance for Bucell, and that puck just sat there. And the horn probably sounded about there, and then Johnson shot it, and Daly came over top, and then it was on. Linesmen tonight, Jacob Kohlmeyer and Colin Pons, and they were the ones responsible for wrestling Johnson and Daly apart. Well, earlier this season, Brian Parsons made his booth debut. We will get him on the microphone again here just momentarily, as he is standing alongside our Brady Beaton. He was the one that took that shot that ended up going home off a deflection, and we will chat. We'll hear from Brady and Brian Parsons now.
Down here on the ice with Brian Parsons. Brian played a big part in that goal, had the assist that Grammer tipped in. Walk us through that goal and it helped you get back on top.
I kind of just followed the play up right there. The puck kicked out. I'm not really sure how it got out to me, but it was just, I knew it was rolling. So I just knew I needed to get some wood on it, just like bear down and get it towards the net. And Grammy's a mastermind in front of the net on getting sticks on pucks, so it's perfect.
You guys have been generating more offense tonight than you have the last couple of weekends. What have you been doing in that regard to put more quality shots on net?
I think it's just like, between the ears thing, like you just got to work hard and get the puck. If you want to score goals, you got to go get the puck, basically. You can't just stand around and let it come to you.
So the last couple of weekends, composure and power plays, or penalty kills, I should say, have played a big part in the last couple of weekends. What do you need to do to still stay aggressive but keep the composure at the right level?
We've talked about it all week, kind of like not getting too high or not getting too low. We just got to stay right in the middle, just because emotions run high. It's an emotional game.
Right.
So we just got to make sure we stay in that level and not get too crazy. There's times and places to do it, and we'll get the green light for it, but we just got to stay composed and keep going.
Well, Brian, good luck in the third.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Will, back up to you.
Thank you, Brady. Thank you, Brian Parsons. Still searching for his first goal this season, and I'm sure he'll hear me say that and then complain about it later this week. But again, set up that second goal, or that third goal for the Prowlers, and again, they have the 3-2 lead here through 40 minutes of play. Shots in that second period favor the Prowlers 16-10. They're up 31-21 in that category. Last word from Nick Field, who joined me for this second period.
Yeah, it was good to be up here, Will. I appreciate you having me up. It's good to be involved, even behind the scenes with Motor City, trying to get that shit back on track, and we'll be looking forward to competing next season for sure.
Well, looking forward to seeing you next year. Thank you for joining us again. And we want to remind you at home to secure your seats for the Prowlers' next home game. That is tomorrow, the final game before Christmas, December the 20th, 6:05 p.m. puck drop. Santa will be in the building. Free professional photos with Santa here at McMorran Place. You will not want to miss that. And the Grinch will also be around. Be sure to keep your eye out for that pesky Grinch all night long. And it will also be your last opportunity to get the Star Wars Holiday Gift Pack. As the Star Wars Night Holiday Gift Pack, 2 adult tickets, 2 child tickets, and 2 Prowlers lightsabers. And those tickets, of course, for the February game between the Prowlers and the Binghamton Black Bears, Star Wars Night coming up. So be sure to get your tickets to the game tomorrow so you can take advantage of that deal. phprowlers.com/tickets or call 810-985-6166. And again, haven't gotten your pictures with Santa yet or just looking for a free professional photo with Santa, they'll be going on in the Prowlers team store. You can also scan that QR code on your screen now to be part of the new McMorran Place experience. Brady Beaton is alongside me here now, and we will hear from him as we break down the first 40 minutes of play. It's coming up next here on the PHP Network.
Come on, guys, hop in.
We're not getting in that thing. That thing's gross.
Yeah, I wore my nice pants today. This thing could use a detail.
Well, I don't know. Do you know anybody who could detail a boat?
I think that guy could.
Hi, I'm Logan from Ballard's Detail. I can detail your boat. From oxidized and faded to smooth and glossy, our professional compounding and waxing process will get your boat looking new again. Contact us today at 810-956-8318. Visit us on Facebook at Ballard's Detail LLC.
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rearview mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
Hello, I'm home.
There he is.
What is happening? Relax. We won. They brought back the snack wrap. Spicy or ranch?
Spicy.
Yeah, go. Just one little bite. Can you stop? Oh, sorry.
Gather your crew. Snack wrap is back.
This isn't working. LJ, pass me those flyers. No look behind the back pass. It's a hope play. LJ, come on. Gap up. Close the gap. Close the gap. What are we saying? This isn't working. We need a shift change. Let's bring in the professionals.
Head over to the Birchwood Mall for your shopping and entertainment needs. Hop on the carousel, shoot some hoops, or visit some of their great stores such as Gerlach's Woodworks, where they specialize in handcrafted wooden decorations. Add to your fan cave a Prowlers themed creation. Upgrade your bathroom at Luxury Bath Mobility Remodelers. They can fully customize your bath or shower to fit your needs, and they also do flooring. For the sports fan in your life, pick up a unique gift from Pro Edge Sports. jam-packed with all kinds of memorabilia. There's something for everyone. And it's not a trip to the mall without Auntie Anne's pretzels. Grab a freshly made full-size cup of pretzel bites and wash it down with some frozen lemonade. At the Birchwood Mall, you can find this and more. Visit them on 24th Ave in Fort Gratiot.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hi guys, we just stopped at Industrial Park Marathon to get some fuel and some snacks before the Prowlers game at McMorran.
Nice. Yeah, we just stopped by here at Industrial Park Marathon so I can get a Slurpee before the game.
Wait till after the game. If the Prowlers score 3 or more goals, Slurpees will be free.
Thanks for the info. I'm going to get my Slurpee after, but we'll see you at the Prowlers game.
See you at the game. Go Prowlers!
Yeah, I don't know about this one, fellas.
Boys, we don't overcome adversity by backing down. But yeah, I don't know about this one.
That's reassuring.
We're so screwed.
All right, boys. Here's the game plan. LJ, you start with bananas.
Wait, why do I have to do the bananas?
Because you're the softest on the team.
I don't want the bananas.
This thing is gonna melt. We gotta hurry up.
I won't do it.
Okay, both of you. I will do the bananas and the whipped cream. Fets, please continue.
Who's paying for this anyway?
I am. I just bought my tickets for the Prowlers game this weekend, and the Milk House gave me 25% off my order.
Fets, why'd you buy the tickets? You're literally on the team.
For the discount.
So are you all ready to give it a try?
Oh, we're ready.
It's true. Get 25% off your entire order at the Milk House, October through April. Simply show your ticket stubs at checkout and enjoy your discounted treat.
Back here at McMorran Place, Prowlers with a 3-2 lead over the Blue Ridge Bobcats through 40 minutes of play. Will Wiggleman here alongside our sideline reporter Brady Beaton. Brady, what's it been like down there? Obviously, we were just talking off the air about the Michael Mercurio incident. He's wearing number 6 now after all the blood in the corner. But what did you see down there at ice level?
Yeah, you knew as soon as he came to the bench. I looked over and it looked like he was wearing a red alternate. It was pretty rough for Michael. So he had about every piece of cotton they could find up in his nose. I think it was his nose and his lip that got busted up. And he was, let's just say he wasn't happy it didn't result in a power play, that he bled in vain.
Well, talk a little bit more about your conversation with Chris Paul before we get into the highlights so far and what kind of insight he offered you and what you thought of it.
Yeah, him and Brian Parsons both kind of echoed each other and the tone felt very similar. More steady as they go, because I'd say through the first couple months, it's been very, hey, the highs have been really high, but the lows have been low, and I think that's what's happened in the last 6 weeks. They're trying to be a little more steady Eddie, and I've gotten that vibe off the bench. Like, they're into it, don't get me wrong, they're excited, but they also aren't going too over the top. I mean, at the end of the period was really one of the first times you saw anything maybe outside of it. It actually is resulting in a Prowlers power play. So good news on that front. But no, they're keeping things steady, and I do think part of it is two of the guys that are more of the emotional leaders, the spark plug guys, and Ben Brockway and Reggie Millette are out. So it's going to be a little bit of a different identity without them. I mean, those are guys that are usually on the bench getting everyone going, and with them on the sidelines tonight, I think you're seeing just a little bit of a different identity with them saying, all right, we're not going to get too high, not going to get too low. And they bounced back after both of the Blue Ridge goals.
Well, let's take a look back through this game so far, and it was the Prowlers who got on the board first, and their power play scored. It's shocking, but
they didn't wait long.
It happened, and beautiful pass there from Blake Anderson to Artu Hakela as they caught Anthony Schrum looking the wrong way, and for Hakela, his first point after a 6-game point drought.
Yeah, and right on the doorstep, and almost came back and was able to recover. Hakela still fitted in a very small window.
Now, 7th of the year for Hakela, but the Bobcats would be able to respond. And after a bit of a broken play at the blue line, they get a 2-on-1, and Daniel Martin, perfect feather pass to P.J. Demetrio just past the outstretched stick of Bobby Price on the back check, and the Bobcats able to tie it up right there.
Yeah, and you saw Federley trying to call to take the pass. He was going to play the puck. I think Cooper was just a quarter of a second too slow. Maybe cheat that pass a little bit because Federley, the veteran he is, you can trust him to take away the puck, and he's just a little slow getting over, and you're right. The game of inches, Bobby Price nearly was able to break it up, but a beautiful pass.
And then Heikkila would get another by the end of the period. And we take another look there, and Schrum did get a piece of it, but again, Nick said it earlier when it happened. Great hard work by Graham and Lockney to make that one happen.
Well, absolutely. I mean, that's an effort play. Heikkila gets credit for the goal, but it's the work deep in the opponent's zone that gives you the opportunity. That's when it goes back to the old adage, you create your own luck. Hey, maybe not the greatest shot. I mean, like you said, Shrug got part of it, but it still found its way in. But the only reason you were able to get lucky there is because of the hard work to set up the shot from the slot.
And they're starting to get that puck luck again. You don't go on a 6-game losing skid specifically and only because of puck luck, but it certainly has played a part in some of those closer games. And the Prowlers getting some of that puck luck here tonight. As you see some of those teachers out there on the ice shooting for $300 towards school supplies for their classroom. That's what the winner will get here on Teacher Appreciation Night. So, again, very excited for that promotion. But as we continue, we get into the second period. It only took 11 seconds to get our first goal in the middle frame as Nikita Kazirev scored. But then the Prowlers were able to score right back later in the period, just a couple minutes later, and it was Brian Parsons stepping into a loose puck, got all the way through, deflected by Matt Graham. It hit the back bar.
Yep.
Originally waved off, but how about the overhead view?
Yeah, and God, you gotta love technology now that, even 2 years ago, it would have just been, well, what did they see? And that's as clear as can be a goal. But this is what I talked about, being able to respond. They always say the back-breaking goals are the ones in the first and last minute of a period. And, you think, okay, we played a great first 20 minutes, have a 2-1 lead, and immediately, people weren't even settled in on the bench, bang, goal, and it's after you stumble in the offensive zone. But to come back and to get that one, and Brian Parsons, another guy that had been a little cold lately, hey, you just put it on net and you talk about it, you make your own luck. Throw it on net, and Matt Graham, and Brian said it, he's a maestro in front of the net, able to tip it in, and right now that's the difference. But I think that they've been a little more even keel, and I like, because, Will, you still see it, they're still playing with an edge. They're not playing soft by any means, but over the last 6 games, I think they would have taken a couple extra penalties or maybe even escalated one of the altercations a little more, which would have either cost them a power play or put them on the PK.
Well, they are going on the power play for the start of period 3 as the clock has stopped here at McMorran Place. The intermission taking a little bit longer.
Had a lot of teachers out here to honor.
We did have a lot of teachers to honor.
I think they had about 20.
I think, yes, I believe 20 was the number. Again, we do have a couple teachers up here, Kim and Alexander Nelson, who are both educators, and let's see if we're trying to get a camera on them here.
The lights operator didn't hear us. We're trying to get the cross-ice shot. Come on. Come on, Will. You got to have a little more pull than that.
I know. They need to hear me over there. But again, Kim and Alexander, see, they're making their way to a good spot here. But again, shout out to all the teachers, and let's give these two their little spotlight here, where they got their Christmas sweaters on tonight. There they are, couple of teachers here in the building, and again, shout out to those two, and shout out to all the educators that we are honoring tonight around Port Huron, around St. Clair County, and around the country and the world. So thank you to all the teachers who shape the young minds every single day, and shout out to our crew here in the booth who was able to put that together in very short order. You could have seen the chaos that went on up here.
Hey, let me give a little shout out to my pops, Big Raj. He was a teacher for 25 years down at St. Clair High School. So it runs in the family. Teachers all over my family. Big appreciation to them. Don't always get the love they deserve.
And I want to give a big shout out again to my stepmother, Allison Wiggleman, who is in her final year teaching special ed at Haldane back in New York, but she is going out in January, she says. So she's ready.
Almost done.
She is in senior spring. she has been ready to go since the summer, and she is really feeling the senior spring now. I'm sure sure I'll see that when I head home for Christmas here this week.
Hey, it's great. Retirement's awesome. My dad, he retired. He got a little bulldog puppy, Boo, and that's been all he pours his time into now.
My dad's here because he's retired.
Oh,
actually.
See, there you go.
He came out here this weekend. Retirement's great, I've heard, but still a little ways away.
A little ways off. Just a couple more hockey games before we can kick back and just travel around for that.
We have a lot more time left to go in this one. 20 more minutes on the clock. They have added time to the intermission here so that we have enough time for the Zamboni to make the ice look nice. But speaking of the ice looking nice, our projection system working hard here to show off our Teacher Appreciation Night graphics here on the ice. It's been a lot of fun to have this system, and of course Aiden Bricker works mostly with it, and he's done a great job with it, and it just looks awesome. And another one of those upgrades, and probably the most major upgrade that we've made here to McMorran.
It's the one is the most obvious, right? It's the one you see up front. And Will, when you showed up, and we've both been around this for a while, it had been getting a little stagnant, right? Not that anything was particularly bad, just not a lot of huge upgrades. So when they all come sweeping in at once, it's looked really nice, and it feels like a very professional game, a very professional broadcast. And, Will, I'm sure you hear it all the time about people when they come to their first game, they go, wow, how much better it's gotten, whether it's the production quality on the broadcast, whether it's this, whether it's the team store, or a variety of things. The projector screens on each end of the rink making for a pseudo Jumbotron. Been a ton of upgrades here that have really enhanced the experience of the Prowlers game.
I really do think I got whiplash the first few weekends this season, just trying to seeing all this stuff and trying to make sure I'm locked in on what I'm doing, but not getting distracted by everything going out on the ice.
And also having, other people in the booth.
Yes.
Because you usually, for the last, 3 years, it was just you.
It was just me and Kim these last 3 years. Yeah. And now we got a whole team up here. There's about 7 of us up here, 7 or 8 of us up here. We got Damian Polak across the way. Aiden's walking around somewhere. It's just been a whole team effort. But again, if you like the graphics on the ice, the way you're looking at them right now, it's about 100 times better here in person. It's like you're at Little Caesars Arena, except just a little bit smaller.
A little more intimate. You can actually go and talk to the players after the game and have that community feel about it with everything. So it's been awesome. And yeah, it's, like I said, when it was just you and Kim and really the scratched players were the ones that would fill up the booth with you.
They did not like that.
No,
when I asked them to move a camera.
Yeah, but I remember, I think the first weekend they came up here and they went, oh, yeah, we're going to have to go find somewhere else to sit because there's no room in the inn up here in the booth. If you're up here, you're working.
Well, we'll give the crew just a few seconds off here. We take a timeout, and when we come back, we will take a look at the Prowlers' upcoming schedule, out-of-town scores, and much more. It's all coming up here on the PHP Network, but I've just been notified from our owner, Ken Andrews, that these Empire Division and Continental Division pucks are selling fast online and in the team store. So get online to shop.phprowlers.com. In case you didn't see them earlier, they are pucks depicting all of the teams in both the Empire Division and the Continental Division. Separate pucks, so no matter who you're a fan of, your team's logo is on there. Shop.phprowlers.com. We will take a break, and when we come back, we will continue on and drop the puck in period number 3 here on the PHP Network.
Welcome to the new era of Prowlers hockey. New owner, new store, new horn, fire, projectors on the ice. Yeah, this isn't your dad's McMorran experience. This is Prowlers hockey. Get your tickets for the show now at phprowlers.com/tickets.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
From Prowlers hockey. Shot. back here at McMorran Place. Prowlers and Bobcats getting set for period number 3. Port Huron with a 3-2 lead. We have eyes on the shop.phprowlers.com. Take a look here, and those are those pucks I'm talking about there on the left, the Empire Division puck and the Continental Division puck. See all the logos of all the teams in the Empire Division. $10 will get you that puck, and we ship everywhere here in the U.S. and worldwide. You can also get a Continental Division puck as well for $10. And again, just a great offering that we've added to the team store. Again, tonight we added it to the team store. I learned about it just about a half hour before the game started. But again, they are selling fast right now. Ken Andrews, our owner, just told me that we got an order in from Utah. So shout out to whoever's watching in Utah and made that order. And hope you enjoy your puck or pucks. Let's take a look at what's coming up for the Prowlers. They will not be traveling to Utah, but they will be hitting the road after Christmas here in Danbury on Boxing Day. 7:30 p.m. puck drop, then 7 p.m. puck drop on next Saturday night. But before Christmas, one last home game against these same Blue Ridge Bobcats. That is tomorrow night. Santa will be in the building. The Grinch will be around as well. So you'll want to be sure to come out to that, and also get your last-minute Christmas shopping done at the team store, whether it's those great pucks that you saw, the lightsaber, which I think also got some screen time as well, or any of our other great new and also classic gear. So 6:05 p.m. puck drop. Santa and the Grinch are here. We'll also have the Casey's, or the Mitts Kids Zone set up, and you will be able to hit the ice with the team after the game. So get your tickets now at phprowlers.com/tickets. But then again, after Christmas, Prowlers hit the road, and we will have those games here for you on the PHP Network. Let's take a look at what the hat tricks and the rest of the FPHL are up to with our out-of-town scoreboard presented by Love After Hours Boutique and Boudoir. And the hat tricks have pulled within a goal of the Binghamton Black Bears. They are late stages of the third period. Johnny Ruiz scored twice in the second. Danbury's been pushing and pushing and pushing. Got a minute and a half left to go in that one. It's still 3-2 Binghamton. Thunderbirds have jumped out to a 3-0 lead on the PD Ice Cats. Gus Ford has one, and Zach White the other two for Twin City. And with not much time left to go in the third, it's Thunderbirds 3, Ice Cats nothing. Wolves and Sentinels locked in a heck of an offensive battle in Indiana. It was 3-1 Sentinels at one point in the first period. Trevor Graspy scored a natural hat trick, and Darian Bencic added another. Wolves with 4 unanswered, but then Denver Craig made it a 1-goal game before the end of the second. They're heading to the third, 5-4 Watertown, with Indiana's 3-game winning streak on the line. Tight one in Columbus as the Dragons had a 3-0 lead at one point. It is now 4-3 Columbus as they approach the end of period 2. Garrett Milan scored twice in the second period. Luke Croucher got one as well. Lucas Texmo scored for Columbus. That's a 1-goal game. Again, final minute of the second period right now. Finally, midway through the second, so we continue on. Jacob Gagnon has the goal for the Scarecrows. Matt Pazarin has the goal for the Zydeco. They're knotted up at 1 goal apiece, just past the midway point of that hockey game. Finally, the Monroe Moccasins and Biloxi Breakers are tied up at 1 as well in the second period. Frank Schumacher, the goal for Monroe, and Yaroslav Yevdokimov scored for the Breakers. Tied up at 1 there. Again, it's 3-2 Prowlers here. But as we get set for the third period of play, Out-of-Town Scoreboard presented by Love After Hours Boutique and Boudoir. Use code Prowlers for 15% off at Love After Hours. Let's take a look at the stats right now in this game. Shots 31-21 in favor of Port Huron. Prowlers will have their 6th power play of the game. When we drop the puck here for the third period, I'll get you those details in just a moment and why that is. But you see the penalty minute totals there. Still feels kind of short. Still feels kind of low, but again, both teams have been in and out of the box throughout this game. Bobcats have only had 1 power play so far throughout this entire hockey game. So that's certainly a bit of a badge of honor for the Prowlers, the way that they've been taking penalties as of late. As we're waiting for a few extra stragglers to hit the ice for the Prowlers. And then you'll see Reed Cooper getting set in the goal crease down to our right. He has made 19 saves on 21 Bobcat shots. Anthony Schrum down the goal crease to our left, 28 saves on 31 Prowler shots, as there is Cooper getting set to go. He's hoping he won't see too much action in the first couple minutes of this period, as Justin Daly and Alex Johnson both got penalized for that scrum at the end. Johnson and Daly each with 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct, but Daly got an extra 2 for cross-checking, and I believe that has to do with when he came flying in right as Johnson was taking that shot at the end of the period. And he toppled over Johnson, and that, again, I believe is the reason for the cross-checking penalty. So Port Huron to its 6th power play of the night. Can they make it a 2-goal lead early in the third? Martin wins the face-off back, and we are underway in period 3 as Cooper leaves it for Favaro. Blake Anderson wheels in, sent it around behind the net. Price overskated the puck. Lavak bounced it up, but only as far as Favaro. Favaro D to D to Lockhart. Gave it right back. Down to Anderson. He starts to walk, floats it through, off of Schrum's glove, and it's skied all the way down. Cooper leaves it behind the net for Favaro. Prowler starting a change. Favaro has some skating room. He'll get in. It's clapped around by Bacon and all the way down. Brian Parsons getting a shift on this power play unit in place of Alex Johnson. Of course, Johnson in the box. Parsons just able to poke at that puck as Reller stepped up on the pass, and it goes into the Bobcats bench out of play. They'll have to edit the penalty time here in the arena because it says 1 minute and 14 seconds, should only be 53 seconds up there. So we'll get that all sorted out for a face-off at center ice. There are currently 5 Bobcats on the ice, but Daniel Martin is heading off to his bench, and now the correct time up on the big board. Talked about all the upgrades during the intermission, but still some things and some kinks to be worked out. Bucell slid it down towards Graham, got past him. Parsons in deep. He'll grab the puck, slipped it all the way up top. Federley walks in, backpedal, shoots, and it's blocked by Reller up out of play. So again, another face-off deep in Bobcats territory. Just 24 seconds left on the Port Huron man advantage. Prowler sticking with this unit. Graham and Martin taking the face-off. And this one goes straight up out of play, and another delay of game against the Bobcats. Their second of the night, and a 5-on-3 coming for Port Huron. Philip Lavak the guilty party. Big chance here for the Prowlers. They did get one power play goal. Can they get another? Off the face-off, Parsons backpedals at the line, down to Bobby Price. Parsons sent it through, save Schrum, and he's able to hang on. 14 seconds left in the 5-on-3. Parsons took a look over his shoulder at the clock. Price gave it to him. Lockney slowly down the boards, back up top to Parsons. Sent it through, hit the post! Karams to Lockney. He walks in, tried to pass it to Price. It was behind him. Now a 5-on-4 Prowlers power play as Price one-times it from the outside, and Schrum able to grab it with the catching glove. Minute 30 left to go on the 5-on-4 man advantage. Take another look at the shot by Parsons that hit the post. I'm not sure if that deflected off of Martin right there at the top or not. Favaro backpedals, gave it to Lockhart. They've changed everybody but Price so far on this power play unit. And the tap pass in front was bounced back. Anderson wheels up high, turns it on goal, and another glove save by Schrum. Prowlers power play has certainly looked a lot better tonight than it has in recent games. Another face-off win there for Anderson. Prowlers have done well in the dot tonight. Price to Favaro. Walks the line, gave back to Price. He walks in, his shot missed wide. Favaro gets back to it. Erickson trying to find the loose puck, bounces it ahead, and it goes past Favaro. As that puck on edge, skipping and rolling. Cooper sweeps it over to Price. 44 seconds left on the man advantage. Price wheels in, drops it off, comes back to him. Anderson turning the corner, keeps on moving. Blake Anderson leaves it for Bucell. Federley in no hurry, hands off for Bucell. Downhill is shot, hit his own man Anderson. First clearing attempt hit Bucell. Federley couldn't keep in the second one. Here comes Martin short-handed. Cooper all the way out to sweep it away. The crowd loves that. Bucell dumps it back in. Final seconds ticking off this Prowlers power play. It will expire. But Reed Cooper came all the way out to keep Daniel Martin from a shorthanded chance. It stays 3-2, still in the early stages of period 3. Lockney or Graham had James going to the net. Graham just fumbled the puck for a moment though. Parsons takes it in at the line. Ungoal scooped up by Schrum, and he'll hang on. James a little tangled up with Erickson. Take another look. Reed Cooper gambled, and he won. Sliding all the way out. Not the first time he's done that this season. And that's the type of play you have to make that decision early. And it looked like Cooper did. Martin didn't have his head up. He wasn't ready for the goaltender to come flying out at him. Parsons from the line, had his shot blockered away. Bumped around, Bacon chasing. Morgan came pitching in and forced Bacon to play it back behind his net. Andrioli gets to the red line, tosses in on Cooper, and he just blocks it Oregon. Up to Bazal. Here comes James working in. Shot stopped by Schrum. And Andrioli plays the rebound off the glass and out. Bavaro to Morik, who tips the puck in deep. All three forwards head off for a change. And now they blow it dead. An issue with the stanchion in that corner. It's right where the referee is. There's something up with the stanchion. And he was holding a piece of it when he blew the whistle. They'll need the McMorran crew to come out and take a look at it. So both teams will have a chat. I believe it was referee Jonathan Satarski who blew the play dead as he was hanging on to a piece of the stanchion. And the McMorran crew, you see there, working hard to get that all settled. 15-17 left to go in period 3. Prowlers with a 3-2 lead. As they get that all fixed, let's tell you about Proper 12 Irish Whiskey. Prowlers are on the ice, so grab a glass of Proper 12 Irish Whiskey, the official shot of the Port Huron Prowlers. Looks like they've decided this will be a TV timeout, so we'll be right back here on the PHP Network.
Hi, what can I get for you?
I'd like some McMorran fries, please.
All right, that's going to be $4. Okay.
She shoots, she scores with the new Prowlers debit card.
Don't you have somewhere to be? The game's on.
Get your Prowlers debit card only at Flagship Community Federal Credit Union, located on Lapeer Road in Port Huron. Flagship Federal Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA.
Fans getting rowdy here. Oh, what are those moves? Those are the moves of a confident person in his dancing abilities. Fans hoping to see the Prowlers end a franchise record 6-game losing streak. They're up 3-2 here in the third. As Nick Favaro looks to move back north, he dumps it behind the net, and Schrum lets it go by to Hlavak. Daly up to Ferusith all by himself. Ferusith outside try, hit either Cooper's stick or the side of the post, and it ended up into protective netting up out of play. 5 minutes gone here in period 3, and the draw deep in Reed Cooper's end. Bumped around Favaro, Lockney, he'll loft it all the way down. That will be an icing against the Prowlers. So we'll bring it all the way back down again. Bit of a choppy last couple minutes since the Prowlers' power play expired. Not helped by the stanchion replacement. Prowlers up on shots in this period, 7-2. As Daly left the puck behind. Great job by Johnson to make the play as he was going down. A diving play by Johnson. He has to stick handle right in front of his own net as he's chased by Reller. Reller looks back at the referee, hit Favaro on the head with his stick. Meanwhile, puck is all the way down behind Schrum. Graham takes a look, tried to feed it all the way across where Bazal was going. Just didn't get the timing right. Martin moves it up to Daly. Back to Daniel Martin, spins in, poked off his stick by Lockhart. Bazal leaves it for Parsons, quick up towards Bucell, didn't work. It did get out of the zone. Bump back in, Parsons off the boards. James working ahead, Bucell dumps it right in past Schrum. Port Huron getting a change going as Radchenko settles down. Radchenko pokes it ahead, and Oregon steps up at the red line to get back deep. Mercurio having trouble with Anderson. Price comes in to take the puck. It's moved up to the top to Oregon. Bounce right back down. Anderson and Mercurio come together. Klinecki scoops up the puck, and Federley bangs it right back in deep. Radchenko has Anderson moving in on him. Gets around Anderson trying to get free of DeCumbis. And they'll say Vinny DeCumbis got the free arm around Radchenko. So power play coming up for the Bobcats and holding called against Vinny DeCumbis. Second man advantage of the night for the top-ranked power play in the FPHL. They're 0 for 1. Don't want to put this unit on the man advantage in big moments. Right off the draw, Johnson trying to move it around for Favaro, with Blue Ridge takes over. Lavak, D to D, sent on goal, tipped wide. Reller able to play it away from Hakala. Took a check. Pulled off the boards by Daly. Lavak to Reller. Lavak wants the one-timer. He'll get it, and it's blocked by Hakala. Hakala off to the bench. Meanwhile, Blue Ridge back in. Laid down behind the net. Reller couldn't sweep it out in front. Reller sent it back down to the corner. Daly bumps it around towards Farusif. Federley right in on him. Farusif chased around by Federley. Kept in at the line by Reller. He walks, shoots, swallowed up by Cooper. Faceoff will come down to Reed Cooper's end. That one right in the breadbasket. Minute 3 left on the man advantage for the Bobcats. Martin wins the faceoff back to Klinecki. All the way across to Mercurio. Klinecki, one-timer tipped wide. Federley able to clap it around, and Mercurio couldn't reach it. Mercurio again wearing the number 6 now because his number 23 jersey has a lot of blood on it. Price dumps it back down towards Schrum, and he'll leave it for Klinecki to come get. Klinecki back for Mercurio. Ahead to Kazirev, turns the corner, swept it all the way across, but missed all of his teammates. As it goes, the Prowler clear. Here comes James shorthanded. James gets to the net, save Schrum with his stick. Mercurio had trouble with James, just able to get ahead to Demetrio. Penalty about to expire. Good kill for the Prowlers. Klinecki fires in, working on Parsons. And then Klinecki took a hard hit from Graham. Andrioli back out in neutral ice. He tries to turn it up. Bucell back ahead, knocked down by Daly. Klinecki bumps it up to Reller. Reller had his pocket picked almost by Anderson. Morik's try from the outside, missed wide. Barosith heading out. Had Morick to deal with. Now Federle retreats. Back it goes, Parsons, Anderson, high flip. Andrioli and Morick came together. And now it's Federle at the red line, firing it right in on Trump. Wrapped back out to the Prowlers zone. Oregon fresh off the bench to retrieve it there. He taps it up to himself. On towards Price. Price picks it away from Andrioli and a save by Schrum. Bacon had it go through. Graham behind the net. Trying to play away from a couple of Bobcats. Hakala with the puck, up to Lockhart. Rister hit traffic in front, clapped back on net by Hakala, but he missed wide. Graham keeps it alive once again, but his pass in the middle taken by Bacon. Stuckless into the offensive zone. Prowler went down. Port Huron wants a call they won't get. There'll be a call here though, as Lockhart finished Stuckless, and now Graham dropping the mitts with Kazirev. They're gonna let them go here. And Graham takes down Kazirev. The original penalty was coming against Port Huron. More to come. We'll see if they can settle it all in 90 seconds. They take another look here. There's where the Prowlers thought there should have been a penalty. There's the actual penalty. An absolute wallop of a check. And then there's the fight. We'll take a timeout and get through it all and hopefully figure it out by the time we get back here on the PHP Network.
Discover everything banking should be with Advia Credit Union, like earning real financial advantages. You can earn up to $1,000 with your new account. Plus, save an average of nearly $4,000 in interest when refinancing. Get started with the low-rate credit card balance transfer. Enjoy easy access to your money anytime, anywhere. Make the switch today at adviacu.org/real people. Advia Credit Union. Real advantages for real people.
Back here on the PHP Network, Port Huron holding on to a 3-2 lead with 9:21 left to go. As you saw before the break, Matt Graham tussling around, getting into it. The emotions have been high, but we've talked about it in the intermission. We talked about it with players. Trying to keep the composure, not giving Blue Ridge an opportunity to come back in this game, going to be vital coming down the stretch. Prowlers trying to end a 6-game losing streak to start the weekend, hoping to start a winning streak, which hopefully can continue tomorrow when Santa Claus comes to town. Will, back up to you for the last 9.5 minutes.
Thank you, Brady. See Austin Federle chatting with both referees there. Let's take another look at this entire sequence. So you see the Prowlers thought that should have been interference as Hakala got taken out. That hard hit by Lockhart behind the net ended up being a penalty, and now Matt Graham is being escorted off the ice. I believe this is equipment related, the reason why Graham is going off the ice, because he did come out of the box and was showing his helmet to the referee and still has not put his bucket back on. So I venture to guess that might be the reason, but I may be wrong here. Right now they put up 5 minutes on the home side and 2 on the guest side. So we'll have 4-on-4 for 2 minutes and then a 3-minute Bobcats power play. And that is how this is being scored. I really thought there was an original penalty here that seemed against the Prowlers that seems to not be mattering. Again, that was the first one Port Huron thought should have been called. That was the moment when the referee put his arm in the air. And then there was the fight. Still more discussions going on. Nothing has come down on my penalty sheet as of yet. But it seems to be 4-on-4 right now with 9:21 left to go in the third. Yet until that first penalty expires against Blue Ridge, and then it will be a 5-on-4 Bobcats man advantage for a full 3 minutes, barring any more penalties. And that is a major penalty as well. So the Bobcats will be able to score as many times as they can, and that power play will continue. But again, it doesn't start yet. And it seems elbowing is the call. And Brett Lockhart is done for the game. Or no, pardon me, Brett Lockhart has the puck. It's Matt Graham who's done for the game for an elbow. He got a 5-minute major. Here's Slavak. Trying to slip it down low and caught by Cooper out of the air. I really did think it was Brett Lockhart who threw that hit. And yet they gave Matt Graham the elbow, so I may be wrong here, but either way, Graham 5 for fighting and 5 for elbowing. So that is why he is in the locker room. Heikkila will take this face off. No draw with Reller. Parsons scoops it up off the draw, chips it past Radchenko and hustles back after it. Parsons on his backhand. And Prowlers playing the field position game here. They'll get an offensive zone draw. Good hustle from the veteran Parsons. Trying to get around Radchenko. So Kazirev has 2 minutes for instigating, and that's why he's up on the board. And then, of course, again, Kazirev and Graham 5 each for fighting. Sent towards the net, and another glove save by Anthony Schrum. Just 30 seconds have passed in the 4-on-4. 8:51 left to go in a 1-goal game. Off the draw, bounced around. Bazal chases after it with Andrioli. Swept up to Mercurio. Now Martin, 1-on-2. Martin able to get through, and Cooper shuts the door. Daniel Martin chipped it up, and it was Johnson who tried to catch it, slipped past his arm, but Reed Cooper locked in and able to make the save. Martin Price will take this face-off. Andrioli lined up right at the top of the circle. He scored a goal right off a face-off against the Prowlers this season. We'll see if they try and get him for another quick shot. It's tied up off the draw. Mercurio centering, feeds, sliding. Johnson able to get his stick in the lane. Favaro starts it up. Has Price with him. Favaro couldn't sweep it in front. Favaro tried to wrap it, and Andrioli bounced it back. Rimmed around, Bucell hustling after it. He'll have to regroup in the neutral zone. Johnson to Bucell. Throws on the brakes. Lockhart hustling to get into the zone. Bucell had knocked off his stick by Klinecki, and then Bucell does a good job to cancel out Klinecki. Lockhart starts to weave as his team finishes a change. Bumps it up to Organ. Has Lockney with him. Organ takes the shot, and a glove save made by Schrum. Another 16 seconds left in the 4-on-4. Well, the face-off to Schrum's left. D-to-D pass here. Mercurio starts up ice. Gets in. Martin with it now. One-timer from the boards. Lands on the near side for Hlavac. His pass back goes all the way out of the zone. That's as good as a Prowler clear, as it's now the Bobcats' third man advantage of the game for 3 minutes. Brett Morick is in there serving the 3, or the 5 that is now 3. As Martin lost it, Mercurio bounced it ahead. Johnson pulls the puck back into his own end and clears. Klenecki watched by Price. Ahead to Martin. Goes rink wide, kicked in by Mercurio. Chased behind the net. Navarro got a poke at it. Popped up. It hit the protective netting out of play, but play continues. Klenecki, Radchenko, wrist shot stopped by Cooper. Mercurio tried to pass it back to the point. Good stick by DeCumbis to get in the way, and it's pushed out of the zone by Johnson. 2 minutes left on this Blue Ridge power play. Federley rims it all the way up and around. Mercurio holds at the blue line. Over to Demetrio. Back to Mercurio. Just got around James. Mercurio, Demetrio. Daly lets it go. It's blocked by Johnson on a knee. Klenecki backpedal, sent it through. Cooper may have gotten a piece. Johnson and Daly battling for it. They take each other out. Bucell is able to saucer it the length of the ice. Quick up for Daly, picked off by Anderson. Working in short-handed, and he missed wide. And it comes all the way back down to the Prowlers end where Oregon waits. And he sends it up to Anderson once again. Port Huron just wasting time. Lockhart floats it all the way down. Anderson in hard on the forecheck, gave Hlavac some trouble. Up comes Stuckless. Wheeling in. And he tried to pass it off to Martin, but the play deemed offside. How about this play from Blake Anderson picking off the pass? He tried to go blocker side, and Schrum did get a piece of it. There are 6 Bobcats on the ice. There should only be 5. 59 seconds are left on their power play, and Reller is upset that he is being sent back to the bench, and he gets a scolding from the referee. And now he might get more. Votez Zemlika has called Jonathan Satarski over, or Satarski may have just gone over on his own volition to give a warning to Zemlika's bench. Hlavac steps in. Bounce it off the backboards. Daly to Martin. Kicked along and up. Federley swung and missed. Martin centering feed taken away by DeCumbis. On his backhand, couldn't get it out. Stuckless to Daly. Back up high for Rousseff. Daly once more. They continue to play catch. Now Hlavac on goal, tipped over top of the net by Stuckless. James lifts Stuckless's stick, and Federley gets it down. 20 seconds left in the major penalty. Under 5 to play in regulation. Prowlers with a 3-2 lead, trying to end a franchise record 6-game losing streak. For Rousseff, wheels in, bounced out by Johnson. Here comes Price. Penalty's over. Price over top of the net. Bucell gets there ahead of Klenecki. Prowlers going to work back at full strength. Johnson walks the line, sends it through, stuck to Schrum, and he hangs on. We will take our final timeout. 4:05 left to go. Prowlers still leading by 1. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
Discover 1195 Gastropub in Marysville. Burgers, pizzas, apps, and pub favorites like filet mignon and grilled salmon. Open Monday to Friday, 4 to 9 p.m., weekends 12 to 9 p.m. Join us for happy hour, Monday to Thursday. Enjoy half-off bottles of wine every Wednesday, and don't miss Thirsty Thursday with $4 draft beers. Great food, cold drinks, good times. That's 1195 Gastro Pub.
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
We invite you to tune into our next broadcast. That will be tomorrow, Saturday, December the 20th, when the Prowlers and the Bobcats do it again here from McMorran Place. Puck drop scheduled for 6:05 p.m. Pregame show starts at 5:50. It's all right here on the PHP Network. Please do try and come out here to McMorran Place, though. It will be a fun time. Santa will be in the house. The Grinch will be in the house as well. We'll have free professional photos with Santa going on in the team store. So much happening. So again, we hope you will come hang out with us on Saturday the 20th as tomorrow for the final game before Christmas. Prowlers hoping to get 3 points out of this one. They still have the 3-2 lead. Port Huron came in on a 6-game losing streak, again a franchise record. Bobcats have lost 4 of 5 coming into tonight. Bacon absorbed contact from Bucell, and now the Prowlers turn it the other way. Lockney with Hakela. Lockney all the way around the net. Came back to him. Up high it goes. Federley, D-to-D, Oregon. A drive blocked on the way through by Reller. Demetrio skates out by himself. He's surrounded, and Lockney takes the puck. Oregon trying to work ahead. Chased by Martin. And then it went through the door into the Prowler bench as Port Huron was making a change. So we'll get a whistle and a face-off with 3:16 left to go. Pete Away, Mediterranean Eats in Fort Gratiot serves delicious Mediterranean food and offers delivery, dine-in, and catering. Are you ready for something delicious? Face-off will be right in front of the Prowlers bench, and they are having a conversation with the sin bins, and Kazirev has been allowed to exit. Expect to see a lot of Nikita Kazirev as the Bobcats push to try and tie this game as we approach 3 minutes left to go. Puck tipped in by Anderson, swept to the corner. Price the first one on it. Anderson tried to center. Comes right back to him. Blake Anderson missed the net wide. Ferusith able to bump it out. Daly ridden off by Anderson. Price trying to poke it ahead, couldn't do it. Martin ahead for Rusif. Tried an inside-out move on Favaro. Rusif swept it out in front, and Anderson, the first one there to grab it. Price works up. Skies it to the near side corner. Stuckless took a check from Bucell. 3 Bobcats back trying to retrieve that puck. It's Radchenko. 2 Prowlers watching him. Bazal tried to bang it back down deep. Came back to him. Second opportunity, gets it to the corner. James takes it, centers Bazal. Didn't get a good touch on it. Moved up high. Parsons filters it through, but wide. Out come the Bobcats. Tipped in by Ferosith. Schrum is near the hash marks. And now he retreats back to his net as Port Huron heads up ice. Sent right back out by the Bobcats. Bresco trying to move it along. Glove down by Stuckless. And offside called at the Port Huron line with 1:46 left to go in regulation. And it looks like timeout has been called here by the Bobcats. We invite you to tune in and stick around for the PHP Network post-game show. We'll have highlights and analysis, final game stats, and we will hear from the Prowlers locker room. It's all coming up here on the PHP Network. So you get to hear from Prowlers Associate Head Coach Chris Poland. You also hear from our Gunther Graphics Player of the Game. And right now I might be putting poor Arttu Heikkilä back up there on the mic. But he's had a good game tonight. Came mighty close to the hat trick a couple of times. Prowlers have had 2 hat tricks this season, both of them against the Blue Ridge Bobcats down in Wytheville. Nick Favaro did it the second game between these teams in Wytheville this season, and then Blake Anderson did it the third game between these teams. Separate weekends, but both Prowler wins. Schrum up at the top of the hash marks, right by the McMorran logo. If the Bobcats win this faceoff, you'll be sure to see Schrum right to the bench here. Looks like Martin has one leg over, ready to jump, but the Prowlers win the draw. So Schrum will have to stay in the net as the puck comes down to his end. Radchenko took a hit from Anderson. Bryson on the forecheck as well. Anderson couldn't turn it on net. Anderson continues to dig away. Sticks come up, and Kazirev bounces ahead to Stuckless. Schrum heading towards the bench. He's still waiting. He's at the top of the circle. Martin jumped on the ice. Lots of confusion, but the net is empty now for the Bobcats. 6-on-5 attack as the centering pass was bounced back by Favaro. Kazirev tried to pass across and ended up back on his tape, and he's forced to clear the zone. We approach 1 minute left to go in this one. 3-2 Prowlers. Martin looking to wheel ahead. 2-line pass tipped in by Mercurio. And Cooper will clamp the glove on top and get a whistle and a face-off. .4 left to go. Six Bobcats on the ice right now. Klenecki, Ferusith, Demetrio, Martin, Daly, Reller, and Andrioli. And actually that was 7. So Demetrio is heading off. You can never have 7 skaters on the ice. Reller will draw against Anderson. Martin lined up right at the top of the circle. And Anderson with a big face-off win. Another big draw win by the Prowlers in this game. They've done an excellent job in the circle. Daly makes a move at the line. Now Favaro able to toss it ahead. Glove down by Martin. Anderson trying to force it out, and finally the Prowlers do. 26 seconds left to go. Tipped in by Daly. Left behind the net. Favaro bounces it ahead. Andrioli wrists it on, and Cooper clutches the puck to his chest with 15.3 on the clock. One last change here for the Prowlers. Tecumseh, Heikkilä, and James out here for the face-off. Heikkilä, of course, with 2 goals in the game, but also one of the most trusted defensive forwards on the team. They're telling Philip Lavak he tried to change too late, so Daniel Martin will have to come back out. James and Reller set for the face-off, the 222s. Preller won it back. Martin across. Klenecki loads it. Shoots. Missed off the glass. They tried to center. Kazirev couldn't get. Klenecki a drive. Kick down. Diving poke by Cooper with the paddle. And the Prowlers will win it. And how do you spell relief for the Prowlers? W-I-N. Are you kidding me, Reed Cooper? See if we can get in, take a look at the bench here in those final seconds. Oh, we need to take another look at that save by Reed Cooper. It's centered back out. Kazirev was tied up. Klenecki put it back on. It changed direction. Cooper with the first save, and he reached the paddle out. My goodness. As the Prowlers salute their fans. After a heck of a hockey game, Reed Cooper finishes with 27 saves. And we'll get the prayer circle here at center ice, and then we will announce the 3 stars of the game. So once again, want to remind you to tune in to the post-game show here at McMorran, or here on the PHP Network. We will take a look at highlights and analysis, final game stats, locker room reaction as well. And we might need a few more angles of that last save by Reed Cooper at the horn to fully appreciate what we just saw. That was an insane stop as players break for the door. And we will send it down to ice level in just a moment. We'll send it to public address announcer Austin Dunn to announce tonight's 3 stars.
The 3rd star of tonight's game from Port Huron with 2 assists, number 77, Lucas Lockney.
So 2 assists for Lucas Lockney. He is the 3rd star of the game tonight.
The 2nd star of tonight's game from Port Huron with the game-winning goal, 1 assist and 1 fight for the Gordie Howe hat trick, number 51, Matt Graham.
Matt Graham announced as the 2nd star of the game. He's still up in the locker room, but the Gordie Howe hat trick, goal, assist, and a fight.
And the 1st star of tonight's game with 2 goals, number 28, R2 Heikkila.
R2 Heikkila with his 2 goals, the 1st star of the game tonight.
Thank you, fans,
but
for coming
our
out tonight.
Gunther Graphics player of the game is the man who made the final play. It's Reed Cooper, and we take it down to him alongside Brady Beaton.
Here with our Gunther Graphics player of the game, Reed Cooper. Reed, came down to the literal final seconds, the last few inches. Walk us through that final scramble and how you kept it out of the net.
Just fighting to battle through screens. I mean, the boys played a heck of a game tonight, and I thought it would come down to some late game. Either we score a late one or, make a big save. So I was just kind of ready for a big moment to happen, and made the save.
Showed up in the big moment, snapped the losing streak. What does that mean, not only just to get the win, but to get back on track, to get back to where you guys were a month ago?
Yeah, I think it's very rewarding. I mean, after going through a stretch like that, it's always hard, but we've been working our butts off, and it really paid off tonight.
What did you notice differently from the crease tonight that you hadn't seen the last handful of games?
I think a lot more structure. I think the bench was going. I think we were just dialed back there. Lots of talk. And it was fun. Like, we had a lot of fun out there, and it showed on the score sheet.
Winning is always fun, Reed. What do you got to do to get 6 points tomorrow?
We got to come back with the same mentality. They're going to come out hard, and it's always a good game against those two, or against that team. So same mentality, get a good sleep tonight, get ready for tomorrow.
Well, Reed, I appreciate it, and that might have been the save of the year so far at the end. Congratulations again.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Reed Cooper, Gunther Graphics Player of the Game. Will, back up to you.
Thank you, Brady. And, I mean, I just watched that reverse angle that we got of that last save. Oh, my goodness. What a stop. And let's take a look back again at some of the big stops Cooper made in tonight's game. And you had him sliding all the way out on Daniel Martin back in the first period. Take another look at that. Coming all the way out to near the blue line to slide out. And that, that looked like his big save of the game, but he saved it to the end. And that final stop by Reed Cooper was certainly his best, but he was great all night long. And again, one more look from the main angle of that paddle save. And again, the reverse angle, we got it perfect. Damian Polak, our cameraman on the reverse tonight. Oh man, what a save. And you see Brandon Reller throw his arms up in the air immediately. What a stop by Cooper. Well, we will hear from one of the men you saw on the bench during that highlight package, Chris Paulin, later on in this post-game show. But the highlights are next, so don't go anywhere. More to come on the PHP Network.
Are you sick of asking somebody else to live your own life? I'm Josh with the Franchise Guys. If you're ready to quit your job or build your empire, I'll help you trim down my 800 franchise brand partnerships down to a few that fit you, fit your goals, and fit your budget. With options from senior care to airplane detailing, there's an opportunity for you. Owning a franchise can have up to a 90% success rate. That's better than job security. With the systems and support of a franchise, you won't be making all those costly mistakes as you would if you started your own business from scratch. And with options as low as $6,000 to get your own job-replacing business, there's no better option for you than to book a free call with me and my team. Visit GoFranchiseGuys.com. Stop dreaming about a better life and go live it.
This isn't working. LJ, pass me those flyers. No look behind the back pass. It's a whole play. LJ, come on. Gap up. Close the gap. Close the gap. What are we saying? This isn't working. We need a shift change. Let's bring in the professionals.
Yeah, I don't know about this one, fellas.
Boys, we don't overcome adversity by backing down. But yeah, I don't know about this one.
That's reassuring.
We're so screwed.
All right, boys. Here's a game plan. LJ, you start with bananas.
Wait, why do I have to do the bananas?
Because you're the softest on the team.
I don't want the bananas.
This thing is gonna melt. We gotta hurry up.
I won't do it.
Okay, both of you. I will do the bananas and the whipped cream. Fets, please continue.
Who's paying for this anyway?
I am. I just bought my tickets for the Prowlers game this weekend, and the Milk House gave me 25% off my order.
Fets, why'd you buy the tickets? You're literally on the team.
For the discount.
So are you all ready to give it a try?
Oh, we're ready.
It's true. Get 25% off your entire order at the Milk House, October through April. Simply show your ticket stubs at checkout and enjoy your discounted treat.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hi guys, we just stopped at Industrial Park Marathon to get some fuel and some snacks before the Prowlers game at McMorran.
Nice. Yeah, we just stopped by here at Industrial Park Marathon so I can get a Slurpee before the game.
Wait till after the game. If the Prowlers score 3 or more goals, Slurpees will be free.
Thanks for the info. I'm going to get my Slurpee after, but we'll see you at the Prowlers game.
See you at the game. Go Prowlers!
Well, welcome back here at McMorran Place. It's a Prowlers victory for the first time in 7 games. The Port Huron Prowlers pick up points. They get 3 tonight to move to 12-11-0, 36 points, and they will remain in second place in the Empire Division. The Bobcats' struggles continue. They've now lost 5 of 6, and each of their last 3, they dropped to 9-12-0. And depending on what the Watertown Wolves did tonight, they may be moving down a spot in the Empire Division. But it's time now to go back through this one. It was Reed Cooper in the net for the Port Huron Prowlers. But before we do that, our Prowlers associate head coach Chris Paulin was quick to the podium here, and he is standing alongside our Brady Beaton.
Down here ringside with associate head coach Chris Paulin after a 3-2 win. Coach, we're going to talk about a lot, but first, snap a 6-game losing streak. That's got to be a good feeling, right?
Yeah, I mean, every game is its own. Like Biz said, Connor Bazell in the locker room after the game had a couple words to say, and he just said, you know, look at the makeup of this group. You know, teams lose a few games in a row and they start to panic. There was none of that in our locker room. We had a bad weekend last week and we put it behind us. We put a great week in preparation, and the guys went out there and played hard. And this group knows it's a long season, and they battled hard tonight.
You know, there was a moment in that third period where it felt like the last couple of weekends might have been the undoing. When, you know, Grammer takes a major, also gets to the game, and you have to kill 3 minutes of penalties. You guys didn't fold, you didn't blink, you killed it off, and Reed makes the big save in the final minute. What did that say about the growth of this team?
Yeah, if there was a feeling like that, it wasn't from our bench. It must have been from somewhere else. But no, the group, we got a penalty. It was what it was. Everyone was just, we prepared the PK. We were ready for it. We spent a lot of time on it. We went out there, and a lot of guys had to play shifts on the PK, and they executed at a high level. And then, obviously, your best PK guy is your goalie. I thought Coop was excellent all game. And then, obviously, you know, when it's winning time, winners win. So.
How much does it help that the PK unit was out there a lot less tonight, that when they were out there, they weren't fresh, and it wasn't the 6th, 7th, 8th PK of the night?
Well, for sure. I mean, it's simple math. If you take 10 penalties, you're more likely to get scored on than 2 or 3, right? But, you know, a lot of those things we can control. I thought for what we could control, we did a good job. We eliminated a lot of reaching or silly penalties or retaliation. And then, you know, some of the penalties that have been happening, like last weekend, I think we got a few calls that, you know, probably could have gone our way and didn't. Those, you know, they didn't call those penalties tonight, which helped. I thought the officiating was a little bit more relaxed and not so trigger happy, so that was nice. But no, the guys were focused. They did a great job on the PK. I thought they did a great job frustrating the opponent instead of getting frustrated ourselves. So it was a really good team win.
You know, Artu Hakela was a guy that had been in a kind of a dry spell, and he came out in a big way, finds the back of the net twice. What did he do right tonight that allowed him to propel this team to a win?
He's somebody that's very coachable. He's when we tell him where to be, he's there, right? So he runs great routes. He was in great position. Both his goals, great positioning, perfect execution. But, you know, offensively, he's been getting chances, and then tonight they just went in. You know, he's put himself in great positions, and then in the defensive zone, I mean, he had a couple unbelievable block shots, played some huge minutes. He's someone that contributes at both ends of the rink, so we were happy to see him go in, but I know he's just as happy with the block shots, too.
Final question for you. One thing that stuck out to me in that locker room talk was at the end, you know, guys said, well, hey, stay here. You know, it's great that we won this game, but when we leave, it's over and we have to get ready for tomorrow. How important is it to stay even keel and not let, you know, the emotions of tonight carry into tomorrow?
Yeah, it's the same thing. I mean, it's, you're a fan. It's fun to ride the ups and downs, but as players and coaches, you just have to stay, like you said, here. It's a great win today, but, after a loss, we're the exact same way. After a win, we're the exact same way. It's a long season. We have a lot to continue to build on, and I was really proud of the effort at the end. And now, we said in the locker room, the focus is now on preparing for Blue Ridge to beat them again tomorrow.
Well, Coach, I appreciate it. Congrats on the win, and hopefully we're having a similar interview this time tomorrow night.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
He's Chris Paul, and I'm Brady Beeden. Will, back up to you. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brady. And that was Prowler Associate Head Coach Chris Paulin. And so you heard from Coach. Now let's show you the highlights from this game. And it was the Prowlers who got on the board first. And R2 Hakala, who Coach Paulin just talked about getting his offensive chances time and time again and just couldn't find the back of the net. They able to find the back of the net here. And not only was R2 breaking a long drought, but the Prowlers' power play breaking a long drought. Was 0 for its previous 24 going into their second man advantage of the night. But Blake Anderson, perfect pass in front to Hakala, and he makes it 1-0. But the Bobcats would respond on a nice 2-on-1 rush, bit of a broken play at the Blue Ridge blue line, and a perfect pass from Daniel Martin over to PJ Demetrio, just past the outstretched stick of Bobby Price on the back check. And the Bobcats tied the game up at 1 goal apiece. But it was the Prowlers who would get back on the scoreboard, and Hakala struck again in the final couple minutes of that opening period. Good forecheck, and Matt Graham sweeps it to Hakala. Schrum got a piece, but R2 Hakala able to get it through. And we get a good look at it here. I was heading towards the top corner. Schrum did just get a little piece of it. But you get a little puck luck sometimes, and R2 Hakala, his second of the night. And now Hakala moves into a tie with Graham and Nick Favaro, or at least he did at that time, with 8 goals, tied for the most with the Prowlers. But Graham didn't want to share that spotlight after Nikita Kazdirev scored to tie things up again 11 seconds into the middle frame. Well, Matt Graham would make his presence felt again as the puck came all the way out up high. Brian Parsons just got it through, and Graham, right at the top of the crease there, deflected it and deflected off the back bar. This was originally waved off, no goal, but the referees decided to review it, and we get a perfect angle here from our overhead cameras here on the PHP network. Don't know if you'll find these cameras anywhere else, but clear as day, that one in the back of the net, and it goes down as the game winner. Graham's team-leading 9th goal of the season. He finished with the Gordie Howe hat trick, a goal, an assist, and a fight. But it would be the goaltender that had the last say, and why not? When the Prowlers needed him most, Reed Cooper stepped up in the game's final moments. Shot through traffic, Cooper makes the first save, and then diving back with his paddle, robs Brandon Reller. Watch him reach back with the paddle, and Reller could not believe it on our Elite Electric replay. See it from up top here. Reller robbed by Reed Cooper. Highway robbery from the Prowlers goaltender, and he is tonight's Gunther Graphics player of the game. We already heard from him, but 27 saves from Cooper, 931 save percentage. Hey, Reed Cooper grew some facial hair. There he is, and the game-saving stop in those final seconds. Again, 27 stops for Cooper, his 10th win of the season. Gunther Graphics, your go-to guy for logos, websites, and branding. When we come back, we will take a look at the out-of-town scores, show you the final game stats, and wrap this one up from McMorran Place. It's next.
Hockey is like a business. One missed pass can derail the perfect plan. Have Taft Consulting help you get your whole team on the same page. They have the expertise to help you follow through on all your goals. Find out how they can help you today by emailing taftconsulting@outlook.com.
What's more authentic than a Hungry Howie's Detroit-style pizza? Nothing. We're not playing around with the pizza of our birthplace. Thick crust, cheese to the edge, sauce on the top. Where it belongs. We've seen a lot of fakes out there. Not here. This is authentic Detroit-style pizza. Order yours now online for $12.99. We sauce the top and rep for the 313 everywhere. We do bold. Hungry Howie's!
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rearview mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
Hello, I'm home.
There he is.
What is happening?
Relax. We won. They brought back the snack wrap. Spicy or ranch?
Spicy.
Yeah, go. Yeah. Just one little bite.
Can you stop?
Oh, sorry.
Gather your crew. Snack wrap is back.
Will Wiggleman back one final time here to McMorran Place. Prowlers defeat the Blue Ridge Bobcats by a final score of 3-2. Let's take a look at the final stats real quick. And it was a 3-2 win for the Prowlers, as they outshot the Bobcats 45-29 in the game. Went 1 for 7 on the power play. Let's hear it for a power play goal for the Prowlers tonight. That's a huge step in the right direction. And 3 points, of course, the biggest step in the right direction tonight. As, again, they outshot the Bobcats 45-29 this evening. Let's take one final look at the out-of-town scoreboard before we wrap this one up. Maybe I'll tell you what game you should be tuning in next. But first, we wanted to watch Reed Cooper make that save one more time. We'll probably see it again before the end of this one. But here's our out-of-town scoreboard presented by Love After Hours Boutique and Boudoir. Use code Prowlers for 15% off at Love After Hours. Black Bears held on for a 4-2 win over the Danbury Hat-Tricks behind a 3-point night for C.J. Stubbs, 2 goals and an assist for Stubbs. Thunderbirds shut out the PD Ice Cats 3-0 the final. Boris Babic, a 16-save shutout in that one for Twin City. The Wolves won a wild one in Indiana, 6-4 the final over the Sentinels. So the Sentinels' 3-game win streak is over. Lobsters and Dragons are heading to overtime as we speak. Joe Mack tied the score with under 5 to go, and they are getting to overtime right now as we speak. So that might be the place where you might want to go as soon as we're finished up. They are also heading to overtime in Baton Rouge as the Zydeco and the Scarecrows still tied up at 1 goal apiece. Finally, the Moccasins up 3-1 on the Biloxi Breakers. That one late in the third. Casey Gearstein and Tucker Scantleberry have scored to increase the Monroe advantage. Of course, here the final tonight, 3-2 in favor of the Port Huron Prowlers. Once again, we want to give you one final reminder. Tune in to our next broadcast. That will be tomorrow when the Prowlers and the Bobcats do it again on December the 20th. Puck drop scheduled for 6:05 p.m. and the pregame show starts at 5:50. It's all right here on the PHP Network. And there's the booth cam for the very first time on the PHP Network. And the excitement was real up here for that final save from Reed Cooper. And I think my heart rate's going back down now as we get set to wrap this one up. Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network was produced and directed by Christian Jackson. Zach Dotson was running the graphics and Reagan Hayden helping out with the stats. On the cameras tonight, Kim Nelson, Alexander Nelson, Elizabeth Sullivan, Damian Polak, and Aiden Bricker. Once again, tomorrow night, December the 20th, 6:05 p.m., Prowlers and Bobcats will do it again If you can't make it here to McMorran Place, we hope to see you right here on the PHP Network. But for Brady Beaton and the entire crew, I'm Will Wiggleman saying good night. Prowlers finally get 3 points in the win column. They'll try and do it again tomorrow. We'll see you then.
Thank you.